Hey fan gang, hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. Today we are doing a collab with Vespa Merik. So let us hop on over to powerwash simulator because we're playing that instead of viscera cleanup detail. Apparently viscera broke or something? I'm not sure. But we're playing powerwash today. Let me arrange my stuff. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I think we're good there. And we're just starting our stream, so bear with us for a moment. Oh. I have never played this before. Game looks neat. Uh-huh. Interesting. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Alright.
I just need to in-stream real quick. The only thing I need to do is make it so I pin a comment that explains what happened.
That viscera detail doesn't work anymore, apparently.
No, it is not. That's literally all it is.
Okay, so it's not just us. I wasn't expecting the power wash to sound and feel so good.
God, actually, I should probably turn up the volume because when I first did it, it was very loud.
Actually, that's a good call. It's extremely loud. Audio. Turn. I guess it's water volume.
Now it's not even audible on my stream. Okay.
Yeah, it's water volume.
Ooh. Hopefully that's a good volume.
Yeah, now we're good. Okay. So how you been, Vespa?
I've been pretty good overall. Oh, I mean, this past week has been very hectic for me, but ooh,
I feel that.
Oh my god, there's like layers upon layers of filth on this, it feels like. But I can't complain too much. How do I change the rotation?
I think it's R. Yeah.
Thank you. You.
Some nasty green mold on this.
I forgot still. If it's Halloween. There, fixed it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Halloween, but I'm very excited for this month to be over now. It's been very busy. Why is using a power wash so satisfying?
I don't know. Satisfying in real life too.
Yeah.
You just gradually go through things, cleaning them off. Ooh.
Although I think the last time I used a power wash, it was in the fall when I was very unhappy because I was just getting soaked. It was like last minute spray on the house to get the mildew off or something.
Was it on a windy day?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Oh no.
I was just standing in the cold fog from it.
Oh my god.
It's not the way to enjoy a good power wash session.
Oh god. Fall is either the windiest time of year or the disturbingly calmest time of the year. Like, 9 times out of 10, the wind is just gonna like, because I mean it's a little, because it's just gonna blow you away, or you're gonna have that one calm day and you're like, something's wrong here, something is severely not correct.
It's normally pretty calm here until it's a hurricane coming through.
Oh god. God, I'm Midwest, so there's just plenty of open land to blow to just.
Yeah,
blow
you get
through.
tornadoes instead of hurricanes.
Oh yeah. Ooh. By the way, hit tab so you can see like where you've missed.
Oh,
spots.
fancy. Cool.
Yeah.
This makes me actually want to power wash in real life.
Ooh. It's a calming experience.
It is. I forgot how calm it is. It's been a few decades since I had to.
Oh god. Ooh.
Oh, C is a free mouse clicker type. Interesting. All right. So in your area, do you still have like trick-or-treaters and everything? Because I haven't had trick-or-treaters in my area for like a decade and a half now.
Jesus. No, we not directly in my area, but I mean in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It seems like most of the kids that I
it's
get in
like
my neighborhood
trick-or-treaters.
these days are like high school kids, and they just drive in. That seems like it takes the fun out of Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, you can jump. Cool.
There we go. Can I jump onto this? Ooh. Yes, I can. Platforming is going to be our biggest friend in this.
I am no stranger to platforming.
No good.
Does this remind me I actually need to wash my car because it's gotten so grimy?
Actually. Oh. There we go. Actually, I probably need to find... The last warm day before fall is when you have to get your car cleaned in the Midwest because you have to make sure it's all pristine so it can get ruined by the salt when the snow falls.
Yeah.
You got to make sure your car's ready to be just absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh god.
They salt the roads here too.
Okay. God, I know in Pittsburgh, where a family member of mine grew up, there would be times, and also in Michigan, where a friend of mine had a family himself, but like there are places that get so bad that they just go like, no, we're just gonna compact the snow instead, and we're just gonna compact the snow and throw
gravel.
What is it? Sand on it, so you can just get pretty much sand or gravel, so you can just get traction.
I've seen people say they do that in the Northeast, which is bizarre to me. Like, I guess they just don't feel like spending money on the snow plows.
Dude, when you get lake effect snow, it's just like, I'm not plowing this. This is not happening.
Oh.
When you got Lake Erie or Superior just going, we're just going to turn this 2 inches of snow into like 5 feet. How you doing?
That's farther north than I've ever been.
It's a bad time. Oh my god.
I think Maryland's the farthest north I've been.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, lots of dings.
Did I get all of these? We're gonna assume I got those. We can come back if we didn't. Ooh.
Give me the ding. Have you played Helldivers 2 recently?
Not recently though. I saw you were doing it last night when I
live
stream.
I was been surprised by how much fun it's been compared to how much it wasn't. Because I didn't quite believe
okay.
what everyone was saying about how they fixed the game, but they kind of did.
It reminds me of Halo Infinite.
That's a game that I
Halo
have and I've
Infinite.
never played just because I have heard so many bad things about it.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know because I don't know if like how healthy its population is, but like half a year ago, I'd say like, oh no, yeah, it's worth the time. It's fun. For right now, I've just not touched it in like so long because it just takes up so much data on my computer, and I need to get an expansion.
Mm-hmm. I
So
feel
just
like power
decided to
washing a
delete it
pumpkin would
instead.
just blast it to pieces.
Depends on how depends on the settings.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, that's an actual setting in the game?
No.
Oh.
So I mean, you can do this one. Is that reaching you?
Oh.
How
Doesn't
far
look
is
like
that
it.
getting to you? It looks like it's getting to you. You do it and show me how far it's getting.
Not too far. That's about as far as my stream can get.
No, switch the nozzle.
Oh, nozzle.
Oh, there I can hit you.
Which one was the nozzle?
I'm pushing you.
Oh.
No.
Eh.
Fucking have a
Meanwhile, in
goddamn
real life, they just blew
Dragon Ball
holes in
Z
us.
beam struggle. Nope.
That would be lethal in real life. Don't do that at home.
I don't know what the point of this one is, of the big sprayer.
Which
'Cause
button was
doesn't
it
get
to
anything
change?
clean. I can just use my mouse wheel. I don't know about you.
Oh, mouse wheel.
You can use the number keys as well. 2 will bring up the menu. I know that.
Aha,
So if
yeah.
you want to more quickly change.
The 40-degree nozzle? Oh, I see. So this is like pinpoint accurate.
Yeah, which is really good in like small places. But I don't think we're gonna have anything like the Back to the Future DeLorean situation, where you have to clean out the back of that thing, and it's just such little things. It's just so awful. Because it's just like it's still dirt. Like the flux capacitor is still dirt. It's like I've been spraying it for like half an hour. It's like spray a little more. You see, there's some dirt in a place that you can't reach it. Just hope the game glitches and breaks enough for you to get it. Oh. Actually, the roughest one in the Back to the Future DLC is easily the town square one, because it's you have to clean the outside and the inside and the clock tower, and it's just takes so long to do that one by itself.
I never
like,
really
everything
watched or
after it
played
just
this game
feels-
before, and I've always been kind of confused at why it takes so long to play it, but now it's starting to make sense.
Oh yeah. Takes a while. Like, ooh. There we go.
But it is funny in Helldivers too, because they just added the Constitution bolt action rifle from the first game, complete with the bayonet.
Ooh.
And it's not a good gun, but it's a fun meme gun. Because you go throw on the peak physique armor and actually do some melee damage with it.
Ooh.
It's very silly.
Heavy armor still a death trap?
No, I actually found playing last few days, I like the heavy armor now.
Oh, that's good, because the game was so focused on like mobility that it made it so people was like, I can't be a tank. I just want to be a juggernaut. And it's just like, no. It's good to hear
I feel
that.
like the light armor is more of a death trap now, although I see people using it just fine.
Ooh. Usually when I was still playing it, my preferred one was just doing solo missions with the like the explosive, pretty much the bolter rifle that you can get in that game. And
Oh yeah,
just
the
taking
Eruptor.
out bot bases from just taking out bot bases from a distance while crying Wolverine. Oh.
The Eruptor is my main primary too, because it's so satisfying. The bolt action bolter.
Yeah. It feels heavy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. There we go. This feels a lot more forgiving than the Back to the Future one. The Back to the Future one, you had to get everything 100% clean before it ding. This one, it feels like you just need to get to like 90%. It's like, you did good enough there, buddy.
What button was it to highlight stuff?
Tab.
Tab. There we go.
Mm.
I guess hard to tell what's a shadow and what's grime.
What's your favorite spooky movie to watch this time of year?
Spook? I don't handle horror very well. So I usually go for like horror theme that isn't actually scary. So usually that ends up being action movies more often than not.
I was gonna go like Hocus Pocus then.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers is great. Fucking. Ooh.
Well, to give you an idea
Even
of how
though
bad to
it has-
handle horror, the Starship Troopers was too scary for me to watch in the 90s because of the brain bug at the end. Sucking the
Oh my
brains
God.
out.
That is a horrific scene, to be fair.
Yeah, especially in
guy
the
just-
90s before the violent stuff escalated in movies so much.
Oh, ooh.
What about you?
Starship Troopers. For me, I don't know anything this time of year. My favorite horror film is The Thing, followed by Alien. But I don't know if I have anything I watch specifically this time of year.
Mm-hmm. I also don't watch too many movies in general.
Dude, I'm a bit of a cinephile. I love movies. Ooh. Hence why I do watch-alongs, even though I don't expect anyone to ever tune into them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love sharing them. What was the first watch-along? Oh, I did was a New Hope, which is pretty basic. But the reason I did a New Hope is because I did a Star Wars month for May.
That's fun. You can never go wrong with the original trilogy.
Oh, dude, it's so clean.
Mm-hmm.
Even the weakest one, Return of the Jedi, is so good because it has some issues, to say the least, but it has all of the, like, it has all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? All the fulfillment, all the conclusions, but there's a proper word for it that I'm just not getting in my brain right now.
Because even at its worst,
All
when
the
it's in the
payoffs.
Ewok battle, it keeps cutting back to the awesome space battle.
Oh, yeah.
I
The
had
Ewok
some
battle, a
people
lot of
try
people-
and tell me that the original Star Wars movies aren't that good anymore. It's just rose-colored nostalgia glasses. I'm like, you're kind of full of shit, aren't you? But you clearly
that is
haven't
a very
watched them.
bullshit statement. I mean, even the Ewok battle isn't as bad as people say, because if you actually watch it,
Yeah.
what the Ewok battle is the Ewoks causing the Empire to go into disarray,
Mhm.
and then the Ewoks start to die in droves. Like, people are like, oh, the Ewoks are beating
Yeah,
them
you
up so
actually
bad.
see
It's
the
just like,
Ewoks die.
like, the Ewoks are just, like, constantly dying, and it's not, like, unless you have, like 5 stormtroopers and, like, 20 Ewoks, like, descend on them and just, like, have them in close range and stab them, like, in between their armor. So it's like, well, that's gonna kill anyone, to
Yeah.
be fair. But, like, most of it is just ATSTs walking on the Ewoks until, until they get into one, until Chewbacca gets into an ATST
Yeah, it's
and
Chewbacca.
just starts taking everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like that reminded me of the first Avatar movie with the blue aliens, where it's like the only time I enjoyed that movie was when they did the air raid on the Avatar village. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
It was like the only good part of the movie for me.
Screw these blue tree
I was
fritters.
so over that movie by then. I was so tired of its BS.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand the love people have for it.
Okay, people soured on it pretty quickly, I remember. There's still, of course, fans of it. I mean, hell, they made a sequel 10 years later. I don't know. They literally, James Cameron was like, "Oh, I just want to wait until the technology develops for me to make an underwater movie again." And it's just like, oh, okay, why do you love the underwater so much? I mean, he's made.
Was he
like, two
associated with
movies
that deep sea
dedicated to
dive
it.
thing that imploded last year?
No. He is actually the person who criticized the creator before it happened.
That's
He's like,
right, that's
yeah, this
right.
is gonna blow up because you guys don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it did.
Yeah, because I remembered his name was connected somehow. I can't remember how, though. Yeah, that was gnarly. And
Yeah,
then
no.
this year they found the remains, and they found, like, the
Yeah.
jellified, pressurized remains of everyone, of all 5 people.
At least the people who like died, like literally died instantly. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
could
like a
not have
half
felt
second
thing.
death.
Oh my god.
That's like you hear a slight
speaking of
crinkle in the
underwater
glass, and then it's all over.
An overly maligned movie, if you've seen it or not, but is the movie Underwater.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Are you familiar with it?
I don't
It's
think so.
literally a movie. It's pretty much a secret Cthulhu movie. It's a secret Lovecraftian movie because it's just people like in effectively the equivalent of an oil rig at the bottom of the ocean, and then they lose pressure, which is the one thing you don't want to happen at the bottom of the ocean. And they have to go off to survive. But then there's monsters, and it's just like, oh. And there's a lot of homages to other horror films, which make people go like, oh my god, it's unoriginal. It's just like, but it doesn't take from any, like it doesn't steal from anything. It's just, it has a few homages. Like it's like, oh, like a small version of the monster jumps out at them. Oh, that's just a ripoff of the face hugger. It's like, yeah, but nobody gets face hugged. Nobody dies from it. Like they actually kill the little monster, which is actually different than what a lot of movies would do. Ooh. But I'd actually think it's okay. It's like it's a nice.
It sounds like a good concept.
I mean, you don't like horror film, but it's a good movie overall. Because as it goes on, it just kind of reveals like the insanity of it all, like how it's actually a Cthulhu movie to the point where, spoilers, but at the end, literally Cthulhu just appears, and you're just like, oh, so those monsters that like literally can just swallow a person whole. Those are just like literal parasites hanging off of Cthulhu, like skin mites.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I read some Lovecraft earlier this year, and aside from the racism, I had to edit out. I went in blind on a few stories. I think Rats on the Walls was the worst one about that. Okay.
And now you saying that actually makes me realize I don't think I have to do this, but I'm planning on doing a video reading, not a stream, but doing actually an edited video, hopefully, for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I don't remember how to pick up this thing right here. We're gonna need it though to move it. But you saying that made me realize that might need a double check for that might need to happen.
Lovecraft made a standard procedure for me for any public domain PDF I get. I do a Control F for some heated gamer words.
It's not like Huck Finn where the word is there for to make a point that like, oh hey, this is the only person who's called a subhuman by nature. While they go through this river that's filled with actual subhumans. It's like, it's more of a commentary of how, like, Jim is the only actual good person he really encounters on the river, but he's the one who's constantly labeled with dehumanizing language. Like, it's a commentary on the time period. Ooh.
Yeah.
But,
even then, I would probably censor Huck Finn just because of, you never know what'll get you on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it became a thing where anytime I encounter gamer words in my public domain readings, I replace it with Gentleman Man. Because of Lovecraft's cat. Gentleman Man, because of Lovecraft's cat. Did you know that in the story I mentioned, Rats in the Walls, he actually self-inserts his cat into it?
I mean, that would be wholesome if it wasn't for the name of that cat.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the name, it would be pretty decent. But because of that cat's name, there are so many gamer words in that story. It's so bad, it's funny.
I imagine, though, you reading it like the mad scientist from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Gentlemen!
Yeah. Here's some charming little pumpkins.
This is so much... I know I already said this, but it is amazingly more forgiving. Like, the power wash for the Back to the Future would literally be like, no, 90%. It's just like, sorry, 99%. It's like, where are we missing? It's like, you're missing somewhere. It's just like, but where? It's a spot so, like, you've gotten over, but you didn't get enough. But you got over enough where it doesn't appear when you hit tab. It's like, what the, what is that bullshit?
Yeah, this seems like you get 90% and it counts it. I wonder if it's actually a difficulty setting I have from this being the first time I played the game.
Maybe. It might also just be these ones are inherently easier.
Yeah. I can see
a
seasonal
ladder
stuff like this being easier.
Ooh.
Get around the rim.
Oh. Well, damn, that's forgiving.
Okay, now where am I
It's
missing on
kind
this
of
cauldron?
funny, going back to Starship Troopers, how whenever you try to make something anti-war, it's usually quite difficult because usually people are just like, we're kind of just so hardwired to be like, oh yes, I love watching us kill each other. It's like, no, it's a bad thing. It's just like, but it's really cool. I think.
Well,
the
it's
only
also
thing
all
that
about the audience,
has-
because if you show like Apocalypse Now to normal people, it'll be an anti-war movie. But if you show it to a cinema full of like Army and Marines, they'll be cheering on for Roar because of the Valkyrie scene.
Oh my god. But I was thinking of how like even Gundam has only measured success, because like in Gundam, you know you're a bad person like when you're like, oh my god, that was amazing that he just like destroyed that mobile suit. But you also like, but Gundam, especially the original Gundam, will just half the time when Zaku's are destroyed, they'll just cut inside of the cockpit and just show a guy who's just like, no, and just like blow up, and you're just like, oh, that was a dude. But that was
Yeah,
also, like,
I
a really
remember
sick
that about
kill.
watching the original Gundam series. I think the last few years. It took me a while to get through all of it. But yeah, that's one of the better parts of it.
Good. When watching the original Gundam, I was really surprised that it was a late 70s anime and not like a mid 80s for its quality.
Yeah,
I mean, there are
it is
some
surprisingly good quality for it, especially towards
but
the end.
Overall, like, it's real clean.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the first half that's especially rough, and then I guess they picked up their stride or got more funding or something. Because like the battles, especially towards the end, get really good.
The final few episodes, I think what they actually would happen is the show actually got canceled, which is why the ending is so rushed. They were supposed to have like.
Is that why Char
more.
just like 360 no scopes whoever it was with a rocket launcher?
Yes, yes, exactly why that happens, because they're just like, oh hey, we're supposed to have like 5 or maybe even 10 more episodes, but they're just like, we're getting canceled. I think they might have still had the money, so they just rolled the money into the finale. And it's like,
I'm
okay,
not even mad
to, like,
about that,
really
because Char
double-sided.
360 no scoping with a rocket launcher is low key the funniest part of the entire show.
Oh, it's amazing. He just literally
Because it
flies up.
comes,
He's like,
it's
okay,
so
hold
random.
up. Where he's just like, oh, hold up, I still have a zombie to kill.
Yeah, it's so random how he does it. He just pops out the window.
Char is one of the greatest haters in all of fiction, though, to be honest. He literally... I mean, he literally just goes, God, humanity just keeps going to war, and I hate that. I'm gonna throw rocks at Earth to make them stop going to war. And it's just like, you mean like pebbles? No, I mean meteors bigger than the ones that killed the dinosaurs. What?
And then, no, that wasn't good enough. Let me drop a colony next.
Oh.
I love Char, though. I also like how he's so insecure he keeps making up random OC names for himself. The dorkiest one has to be Full Frontal.
No. Full Frontal's actually a clone of him.
Oh, he's a clone? I thought it was just him.
Yeah. No, he is dead as hell.
Because he's so dorky and he's so like
point.
Char, I just assumed it actually was Char.
Oh, dude. Well, my favorite thing has to be how Full Frontal is literally... He is an example of what is called a Char clone, because Gundam just loves reusing Char's character archetype so much, because he has such a good character archetype.
Yeah.
And he's just his own thing that they just keep loving reusing it. But I love how Full Frontal is literally just a clone of Char. That is
Yeah,
like,
it's literally just Char.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we need to make a sequel to Char's counterattack that kind of ties up all the loose ends and whatnot. But we really want to have Char in it, but he's kind of like super duper dead. Like,
yeah.
Like he kind of exploded in new type energy. He's like, like he's gone. Okay, let's make a clone of him. It's like, can we do that? Dude, we have like these things called cyber new types that can literally be VAT cloned. Oh, we do. And I love how in also Gundam, the concept of new types is like the next step in human evolution immediately militarizes it. It's just like, God,
oh, what else are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, but Gundam as a universe is literally what's the worst thing that could happen. Like there is, UC Century is literally a hopeless universe. I swear to God, because other universes you're like, oh well, maybe a one in a million chance. Even in 40K, you could have a happy ending. You know it won't happen in Gundam. You're just like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Char getting disillusioned and going, okay, I need to become the worst person in existence because humanity just keeps going to war, so I need to make a war so big that humanity won't go to war anymore. And you're just like, that's the worst case scenario, and that's what he does.
I think Unicorn might be my favorite Gundam series so far, mostly for the Unicorn's main theme.
I've
RX-01, I think.
Unicorn yet. Not gotten to Unicorn yet, because right now I'm actually doing Seed, which is easily the worst paced of all the Gundams.
That is what I've heard about Seed, is stay away from it.
It is, but I want to watch them all. So I was just
apparently
like,
Seed is popular because of angsty guys in Japan.
Really?
That's what I
would
heard.
have figured it's all the Fujos. There's a lot of hate in that show. The show is built on so much Fujo bait, especially with the moe eyes and oh my god. I mean, it is enjoyable if you kind of remember old 2000s like tropes for animes, and you're just like, oh my god, this is just Gundam that. It's enjoyable if you can laugh at it. But outside of that, I don't think I'd recommend it. If you're just like, no, I hate those things. Like, I can't even like ironically be like, oh god.
I think I might check it out eventually because I don't necessarily mind that stuff. But yeah, I'm not committed to watching the entire thing if I don't like it.
Every episode has multiple flashbacks in it.
Oh my god.
They will have flashbacks to the episode immediately preceding it.
That is so painful.
It is. It is horrific. Oh my god. And everything, it is, even though it has the worst pacing, this actually is part of the reason why it has the worst pacing, because not only does it drag, but almost every plot line is rushed as hell. So like every scene drags out, and every plot line, you're just sitting there going, what? Okay, we're doing this. Oh, now we're here. Okay, now we're here. Okay, he's on a colony. Was that Kira literally just exploded? What? That he's on a colony now? What's that? He's back on Earth, and they're like doing the Jaburo, like the Jaburo from the UC, but like in Alaska. Okay. Oh wait, but it's also combined with when the Titans in Zeta Gundam wanted to self-destruct Jaburo and Zeta Gundam. Okay. And then, oh wait, no, they're getting out of there. Okay. It's like Jesus Christ, like. But every scene during that, you're just like, and we are going one moment at a time.
That sounds excruciating.
I've never seen... It's not the funnest experience. It is pretty rough. God, I'd almost say if you're a cinephile or if, like, you, like television, you have to watch it. Because a lot of times you're just like, oh, hey, like, what is something... Because a lot of times it's just like, if you watch something really bad, you just kind of understand why it's bad and you move on. If you watch something really good, you understand why it's good and move on. Seed, though, has enough good in it, just enough good in it, that you're like, maybe they could have made this into something good. So you can actually, like, think about it.
There's another Gundam spinoff. What was it called? The one with... Lock-On? Is that his name? It's not UC, it's one of the other ones.
Oh yeah, if it's spin-off, it's AU, it's alternate universe.
Yeah, AU. Lock-On Stratos, that was the guy's name.
Jesus Christ, that is a hell of a name.
It's his code name for celestial being, who are totally not terrorists, terrorizing the world to make them stop war. So it's basically the good guys are just literally Char.
That 00 is at X.
It's 00. That's it. 00.
00 is the one that I'm looking forward to because I've heard good things for that one up until the movie. I've heard the movies are awful because they.
I actually.
Instead of being like.
I have a spicy take on it. Is that I liked it until the. I don't want to spoil it for you. I liked it up until like 6 or 7 episodes in, and then hated the rest of the show. And then I absolutely loved the movie because it was so stupid. It was adorable.
That's how I'm trying to enjoy Seed right now. That's
the action in the movie, the battles are legitimately cool.
Oh god.
What does this also do? The wobbly
Actually,
boy.
where I left off in Seed, I'm not really looking forward to watching it because right now in Seed, the main character has this mastered his berserker rage, and he can now, with 6 shots from his Gundam, take out dozens of enemy mobile suits, and it's just like, he's gotten a power boost on like multiple levels, just because it's like the mid-season like upgrade, but you're just like. He's just gotten, like, Super Saiyan out of nowhere, effectively. And so it's like, did he earn this? Did he, like, do anything? No, he's just gotten. He was, like, literally given it, and he's just mastered his, like, Berserk Rage. And it's just like, what the hell? So I'm not really looking forward for what's to come.
I still need to finish Gundam Zeta. I'm, like, at episode 26
Zeta
or something.
Gundam.
Yeah, Zeta Gundam. And I have been for, like, the past year just because I fell off it at some point. I just need to get back into it.
Well, Zeta Gundam is very good until you get to the very end, and depending on how much you're into new type shenanigans, you're either going to be okay with it, or you might think it's a little bullshit at the end.
I know it's coming because of what they've been saying with the main character, and also because Amuro. Yeah, because Amuro's showing back up. Also, the funniest thing about Char is his love for underage girls and grooming them.
Oh my god.
It's the funniest thing for them to do to him.
Yeah. And what was it? There's like somebody used AI to make like a debate for like the voice acting at least for like the best like a tier list of Gundam rankings, and it's like, Char, you keep grooming girls, and it's just like, no, I'm not grooming them. I'm just like crafting them into the perfect killing machines, like to suit my whims. It's like that's what grooming is. It's like, oh, well then yeah, I'm totally grooming them.
I think that was why my favorite scene in the one that Unicorn is a sequel of.
Char's counterattack?
Yeah, counterattack. My favorite scene in that was when Char just randomly encounters a teenage girl on that space colony and instantly adopts her for grooming purposes in like a heartbeat.
It's like, what's this, a fangirl? I guess I can make you into a super soldier. Come over here. Gundam loves its child soldiers, man.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's so funny.
Good.
I also can't spoil too much about Unicorn, but the funniest thing, the ending is fantastic, but it has a character that just is monologuing for like 2 episodes straight and she won't shut up.
Oh my god.
And she's an okay character, so I didn't mind it that much, but it's just so random kind of how it happens. Because she just doesn't stop talking, and it keeps cutting away, and whenever it cuts back, she's still talking.
Oh.
And it gets to the point where she's like, I think the only character in the room she's in. And she's just monologuing at no one in particular. She's just like narrating the entire series themes for no one.
Not sure if I have like there's dust in my room or if there's a fly. Like a little fruit fly.
Mm-hmm.
Keep getting distracted by that. Ooh. Good. Actually, on a similar note of just dark universes, I do like how people just all the memes surrounding 40K of like how if somebody can just make levity out of 40K, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a an ancient serial kidnapper that just, takes anyone and everyone he wants, trades in the infinite, and then they're just like, hey, he's just like a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, literally, that's what he is.
Or the Blood Ravens having a history of working with other chapters, and so they're like constantly gifted from these other chapters because they're always like the anchor. They're always coming in clutch. But people are just like, nah, they would never give that shit away. They just stole that shit.
My favorite Blood Raven meme ever is Chapter Master Cyrus of the Deathwatch National Guard from Dawn of War 2. Because like you don't leave the Deathwatch usually.
Okay. You don't leave the Death Watch, then become a trainer for Scout Marines.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't think that's how that works.
It's like they set it up better for Titus and Space Marine too, but even that was kind of weird.
And Titus said, it's like, well, you died, so I guess, you don't need to be there no more. And Calgar's like, bro, why did we ever get rid of him?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Grimdark is always what attracts people to 40K, but for me, what really makes 40K pop is when there's the levity in it. Because that's when the setting really shines for me.
Yeah, when just like when just horrible death is happening, and then like a Space Marine just turns to another and just cracks a joke, and he just and the punchline isn't even the joke; it's the other Space Marine just turning to him, just going, "Dude, what the hell, man? I just saw like my battle brother get ripped in half. Like, what are you doing?" And it's just like, come on, come on, you have to have like, you gotta have some sense of humor, bro.
Yeah.
What universe do you think this is? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Next one will get you to laugh.
I've been getting into the Horse Heresy series after starting with the very end, the Death in the End. And now I'm on the very first book, Horse Rises. And it's very fun and very funny seeing all the characters that are in the very last book here before everything went wrong. They're all just palling around. It's like, ooh, that's not going to last.
Actually, something I really find funny about the Primarchs in general, and this is more appreciable in his human form, but Magnus the Red, and how he's so often, it's very much, Alpha Boost's text-to-speech really furthered this, but how he's always, like, because he's the psyker of the group, he's always seen as, like, a big nerd and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then you just have that one picture where, like, he's, like, just in, like, a toga or whatever, and he's just, like, ripped as, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and just like, oh, right, he's still a Primarch. Like,
yeah. But he's also
like,
the Primarch that uses his psyker powers to make himself look bigger, because he's insecure still.
I love that so much. He's like, no, I'm the biggest, and you just have Vulcan, it's just like, no, I've been trying. Oh, God. Vulcan. What?
Everyone loves Vulcan.
God.
You can't not like Vulcan.
Yeah, because he's just a great guy. his whole character is this, hey, I like people. It's like, aw. Like, you know,
yeah.
a cynical bastard.
Because it's so out of character for 40K.
Or Primarch, rather.
Yeah.
Who's just like,
because like you have Vulcan who's like, yeah, people are all right, and then you have the Khan, whose his special Primarch ability is common sense.
Fucking yeah. And sick ass burns.
Yeah.
Just delivery. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, like all the power, all the all the Primarchs got special powers granted to them from the Emperor of Mankind, and what the Khan got was just common sense to not be a dipshit.
Oh God.
Which probably says something that he spent the last 10,000 years in the webway just hunting Dark Eldar.
Yeah. It's like, okay, who's the worst thing in the galaxy?
Yeah.
How about those one guys who made Slanesh and every day feed him?
Yeah.
It's like, those guys are probably the worst.
Granted, these days, dude, probably going after Tyranids, but yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, but Tyranids Tyranids interrupt the warp. They don't literally feed a chaos god every day.
Yeah. Dark Eldar are not the brightest.
Dark Eldar are like, literally like I feel like you can make an argument for a lot of races, you know, like the Tyranids, they're animals, you know, like they don't know what they're doing, you know, and like every other race is working for their self-interest. Dark Eldar, you literally have the craft world Eldar. Your species will continue. You're literally just making the world worse for everyone else by like every second that you're alive. Just complete fact.
Dark Eldar in a meme would be, Sinesh has allowed us to live another day, so we're going to make it everyone else's problem.
Pretty much. Yeah. Who's your favorite Primarch?
Ooh, favorite Primarch. When I was new to 40k, it was Dorn, because I like the style of the Imperial Fist. These days, however... honestly, Horus. Pre-Heresy Horus.
Okay.
Because when you meet Horus in the very first Heresy book, Horus Rises, it's pre-Heresy. He's still on the level. There's nothing sus yet. And he's just like a guy worried about doing the right things, not messing up, trying to make it work for everyone. And he's just like, he's like Vulcan if Vulcan was given more responsibility, kind of.
Yeah. He also like cares for his like individual soldiers. He's just like, like each one. He's like, oh man, these are mine. Like these aren't my these are my sons. You know, like it's not just like an honorific title. Like these are the sons of Horus. These are, you know, these are my boys.
And Horus didn't even want to rename them to the Sons of Horus because he thought it was like, that's a bit much. And it took like a national incident from the Imperium for him to switch it.
Yeah.
But for
I do love
40k instead of 30k, my favorite Primarch would probably be... I guess it might still be Dorn, if we're just going by the ones that are alive in 40k. Yeah. Wait, didn't Dorn
he's
die?
Totally dead. We found a hand, bro. It's just like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. He is dead.
His hand? No.
There's so many deaths in 40k, it's hard to keep track.
Is a hand. The only evidence that Dorn is dead is a hand, and it's just like, are you sure? Like, you think there'd be more? This is chaos we're talking about. Like, they love trophies, as we know with Ferrus Manus, and it's just like, no, he's totally,
Ferrus Manus,
totally
whose character trait was that he became Horus's trophy.
Man,
the Iron Hands and Manus have gotten done so dirty.
Didn't Fulgrim just like start cloning Ferrus Manus to like see if like, no, I can convince, if I like, listen, in the battle, in the heat of the moment, I couldn't convince him, but I could talk him into being loyal, into being a traitor, and it's just like every time he'd fail, kill Ferrus Manus, but like, bring in another clone, I'll succeed this time. You know, maybe if when you got a little frustrated, you didn't just immediately kill the clones, maybe you could make progress.
The Emperor's Children and Fulgrim are one of the factions I want to like, but they're so dipshit degenerate that it's hard to find stuff to like about them because they're so one note now. But I like the idea of them in the pre-heresy.
Well, like, you could do a lot with them. They're literally pride before the fall. Like, that's their entire concept. But,
you
know, like, once they fell, they just feel like debauched, you know, freaks at that point. It's just like, you could still keep them prideful. You could, in fact, you could play into it kind of like how you have the Iron Warriors who are like they act like they're above it all, you know, but have it like even more like kind of tragic because they have fallen to Slaanesh, because you kind of have to do that because that's their backstory, but have it so that even though they've fallen to Slaanesh, they kind of like see it more like a matter of pride. It's like, of course, because we're like, you know, he's the god of perfection, so like of course we'd go there, but like, you know, we're not hedonistic fools, you know, like we still have self-control even though they don't, or something. Like, have them be
what kind of sucks is that there are Emperor's Children in the early Horus Heresy and pre-Horus Heresy who are legit awesome, but then they kind of get purged in the same way the Iron Hands got all of its interesting characters purged, just from the course of the stories. And they never replaced them with new interesting characters, so now there's nothing really for them.
I know Fabius Bile is still, like, kind of interesting, because he's literally, like,
Yeah.
confronted by Slanesh, and he just goes, lol, you're not even real, shut up. Shut up, figment of
Shut up, nerd.
Like, bro, I'm literally a god talking to you right now. And it's just like, nah, piss off, bro. Not true.
Nah.
Cry about it.
Yeah, Fabius Bio is really... he's kind of like how Ahriman is, where he's like just the defining character of the Legion now, because they have no one else.
I'll be right back. I need to check my dog.
No problem.
Oh, actually, no. Never mind, I don't.
The dog decided he was chill.
No, somebody else can check the dog, actually. I just realized.
Gotcha.
Not my responsibility anymore.
But in the current lore of the alive Primarchs, I would say the Khan. I mean, well, it's speculated he's alive, but he's probably alive.
I mean, he's probably alive, just, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking around shit in the webway.
Yeah.
Oh. I do like when the Lion woke up, he was just like, bro, what curse afflicts me to a Chaos Space Marine? And the Space Marine just went, bro, like, it's called aging. It happens to all of us. And it's just like, fuck. I do love how even though he's old as fuck, he's still pretty much like the best fighter in the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Is he the best fighter in the galaxy? I know he's really up there.
I don't know if he's like the best, but like, I just mean like how in his prime he was just like an absolute, like, he was able to
yeah, because the Dark
Conrad
Angels
Kurz,
and the
who could
Lion
literally-
were the ones the Emperor sent to, like, when they just needed to basically destroy everything.
Yes. The Space Wolves were the executioners, but when the Emperor was like, I just want to get this job done. I just want to get it done quick. I don't care, like, how it's done. Send in Lionel Johnson.
Yeah, because Lionel
Lionel
Johnson and the
Johnson-
Dark Angels, they had, like, the bad news bearers weapons that the regular legions weren't allowed to have even.
Oh, yeah. He pretty much just had, like, nuclear... He pretty much had Dark Age of Technology weapons just ready to go.
Yeah, so, like, when they encountered a Xenos race, that was just too much for a normal legion. You're like, all right, Lionel, you're up.
Lionel, you go up there, and it's just like, okay, so there's a race, and it's being led by this psychic monster. You're not a psyker at all. It's like, don't worry, I'll kill it. So it's like, well, you can only kill it in, like, the psychic domain. You're not a psyker. Don't worry, I'll kill it. Literally gets mind controlled by it, breaks its neck, because it's just like, okay, well, now you're locked in here with me. Just kills it that way. Like, he's just like, I'm too autistic to be mind controlled. You're dead.
Yeah.
What a hero.
I need to catch up on
what I
his
think
new
is how-
lore with them coming back, because I haven't paid too close attention to it.
Yeah, but with Conrad Kurz, could literally, like, see the future, see every one of his attacks before it happened, but Lionel Johnson was just so good that Conrad Kurz just couldn't keep up with him still. It's just like, damn.
Conrad Kurz and the, frick, what was their name? His Legion. I've always felt like they're one of
the Night Lords.
Yeah, Night Lords, that's it. They're one of the factions that I love the idea of, but I've never seen them done that well.
No, they're also one of those ones that just, like, kind of went like, yeah, we're just crazy now. We're just gonna, like, torture everybody. It's cool. And it's just like, no.
Yeah, the Death Guard and, what's his name? Are the same way, too. And I think it comes from how in the tabletop that, they're basically chapters defined by one unit.
Yeah. It's got those deep strikes with the Night Lords, and you have just, like, I'm just gonna take all your, like, damage with the, Death Guard, or... Is it Death Guard or Death Legion? I don't know why I'm blanking on that.
Death Guard.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of so many names in 40k.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, half the time whenever they make a new chapter, they just recycle an old chapter's logo, for God's sake. Because they're just like, nah,
Yeah,
we're
seriously.
gonna use the Raven Guard. It's like, we've already used the Raven Guard for 20 chapters, just use the Raven Guard again.
Although high key, my absolute favorite new chapters from the Primera stuff has been the ones where they basically recycle the old Traitor Legions as new loyalist variants that are absolutely, totally Ultramarine inheritors. They're totally not Traitor Gene Seed.
Totally successors of, of good old Rabute girly, man. Though it does, it's good, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Steel, I hope you're doing fantastic. Thanks for joining.
Oh.
We are playing Powerwash Simulator because Viscera was not working. What about your favorite Primarch?
Actually, wait, let me look at something real quick.
Yep.
And then I'll answer that. Okay, he's out. I just wanted to make sure.
How you doing, Steel?
I was just checking on the dog. Okay. So, my favorite Primarch, probably going to be basic bitch and go with Vulcan off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Just because... Ooh. Like, it's actually not, like, because how much he loves humanity, but because of how I see Vulcan as the embodiment of kind of, like, the duality of love in a way, or at least in a militant sense of how, like, you love your you love, your people and whatnot so much, but what that, like, leaves is, like, no room to even see the enemy as human at all. I mean, he's literally not fighting humans most of the time, but still, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, when it comes down to other races, like, all that compassion just doesn't exist, and it just is like it's kind of like an underappreciated, like, a duality of just, like, that kind of thing. Is just, like, the more love you have for a group, pretty much the less capable you are of, like, caring for the other group. So, like, on a personal level, like, seeing that typically done with Vulcan is, like, satisfying for me.
Mm-hmm.
But also just the fact that, like, he is just, like, just a bro a lot of the times.
Yeah.
That he can be depicted almost kind of like a goofball in media, and you're just like, it doesn't feel like, they're even, like, being mean to his character. You're just like, nah, he's just like, somehow he feels wholesome even while he's burning, heretics alive with, just no concern at all. He's, snapping the necks of, all the Eldar children in the galaxy. You're just like, aw, how wholesome of him.
And even then, the Salamanders will still, like, sacrifice Imperial citizens if that's what it takes to win the fight.
Right. Actually,
yeah,
that reminds me, earlier I was thinking about the Hellreach adaptation on YouTube. Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't think so.
Have you never seen the Hellreach, oh my god, I'm surprised you've never seen the Hellreach animation.
I know I've heard the name, but don't think I've seen it.
It's really good. Like, even the voice acting for the most part is pretty solid. They pretty much take it's mostly like an SFM from, like, the old 2011 Space Marine game. Yeah. But they kind of, like, hide its quality for the most part early on by kind of making it, like, have, like, almost like a digitized rotoscope effect on it to, like, kind of make it look more like a dark storybook, if you would. And over time, like, they kind of get into, like, better graphics as it goes on. So, like, it gets clearer and clearer in animation, but it's really solid. But one part that I remember is when the Salamanders come to reinforce the Black Templars, and you have Grimaldus is just, like, he just, like, looks at the Salamanders after the battle. It's like, bro, we literally saw the war chief, and, like, instead of going to going to get him, you just held your position in front of, like, the evacuation, like, camps. Like, we could have gotten him and, like, ended the war in this area. And they're just like, yeah, but if we did, the orcs could have regrouped and come in from the side and killed all the, like, refugees. And they're just like, but they didn't. But they could have. And it's just like, and Grimaldus just looks at them and just goes, get the fuck out of my city. I don't want you here anymore. Like, they were leaving anyways, but he just literally goes, you know what, fuck you, I'm done with you guys.
I always like seeing salamanders in stories, but I've never myself like the Legion that much just because I don't like the color scheme too much. I feel like the green needs something else on it.
I'm fine with green. Green is a color I like a lot, so.
Yeah. I like
pretty
green
good with
normally,
them.
but it's just,
solid
it's a
green.
very vibrant green without too much else on it. So it's just not my jam.
Ooh.
I always feel like Black Templars are fine, but I always feel like they're kind of the new 40k fan identifier.
But
Kind of.
Black Templars are fun because they are literally just
They are very fun.
They are the closest thing to angry Marines in
Yes.
canon, is what they are.
But I
So
feel
it's very
like
easy to like them.
it's 50-50 betting odds that if someone says they're a big Black Templar fan, they're fairly new to 40k, which is fine. They're a fun chapter. It's just funny.
Ooh.
Because they are very eye-catching, too.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally Black Templar design
Mhm.
really goes like hard with the whole warrior monk aesthetic of Space Marines to the point where people like literally. A lot of people's perception when they first get into 40k is that Space Marines are uniformly like 100% warrior monks.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
No, that's just like some chapters and mostly the Black Templars. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a huge variance in chapter culture that people don't really appreciate. And even to like Codex Thumper successor chapters of the Ultramarines, there's a lot of variance too.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Especially these days with Rebute coming back.
Yep. God. Didn't like Rebute kill like all the, not all of them, but like a lot of the High Lords of Terra by simply going like, oh hey, I'm just like, you no longer have any power. And then they're just like they're gonna do a coup against him because they're like, well, screw this guy, even if he is a Primarch. And he like the whole reason he did that was just to see who would be loyal and who wouldn't. And he just had a bunch of like assassins kill them when they tried to like pull their shit. I can't remember if that.
That sounds
happened or
like something
not.
that would have happened, but I don't remember it. But I'm willing to believe it happened because I know he did basically replace the High Lords at the top of government, but I want to say they may still be there for the bureaucracy of it.
Yeah. Ooh. He's now what, like the Lord Regent is his title?
Yeah, something Regent.
Oh. How the hell
Yeah, I'm
are we
doing
supposed to
fantastic,
get-
Steel.
There's literally a thing that's out of range, like at the highest point of this building, and I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to get to it.
The tippy top? Oh, you got the whole
It's literally
scaffolding
like
go.
a crescent moon.
I was just
Yeah.
grinding around the building, U-boating the stairway to heaven over here.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, like I need. Oh god. Oh god. I need to clean the moon to bring honor to Allah, but I can't, bro. Oh god. Oh god, there's no star. But like I can't even reach it with the power wash like settings that like have range on them is the problem. I don't know how I'm supposed to clean this thing. I don't know.
Huh. I can get some of it.
That's the thing. Like, I can get like low down on it, but I can't.
Is
get
there
high.
the step stool? Can you put the step stool on top of the scaffolding?
I just got the ladder. Let me go get the step stool.
I think it was down by the apothecary.
No,
thing.
I knew where it was. Thank you, though.
Yep.
It does not look like I can put it on the scaffolding, but let's see if we can put it on the building.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, but
you can climb up on this spire. It's totally not sketchy.
can you
Yes. Hopefully we don't have to get the actual top side of the moon. I don't think that's happening.
No, hopefully it'll just get clean enough.
Although don't know how we're going to get the other side of it.
Oh, thank you, Halo, for teaching me how to crouch jump.
It's actually been a while since I had to do that in the game.
Oh god. You learn to get pretty effective at it when you start doing lasso, because you're just like, okay, where are the places that we just can get away from not having to actually fight? Because so much of lasso is figuring out, how do I not actually play the game? How do I just skip shit? Oh god. But it has to be a team effort. Everyone has to be able to skip the shit together. Because
Oh, you can actually climb up here.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Lasso requires everyone to play because of the whole iron skull. One person doesn't pull their weight, everyone suffers. Oh.
Let's see. Steal My Chat says, don't know much about Warhammer, but like the Salamanders because they're one of the least looking humans, yet they have the most humanity in them. Apart from the flaming.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like how the reason they look that way is just because they come from a super radioactive planet, so
oh yeah,
their successors don't have to look like that. Like, their successors could just be normal space marines and you just never know. However, they didn't have any success. I can't remember why they didn't have any successors before the Ultima founding, but they just didn't have really any successors before
Was it
then.
because the Salamanders aren't Codex compliant? I don't remember if they are or not.
That might be it, but it also might be the same reason why the Space Wolves, who are also not Codex compliant, don't have it, and it might just be that their gene seed wasn't considered stable enough.
That's true.
Because the Space Wolves were like, oh, we can have successors, and then they, the Wolfen happened, and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna go in, kill our own successor chapter, and act like that never happened.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Blood Angels, all their successors are like just vibing on the mutations.
Yeah.
The Black Rage.
Meanwhile, the Blood Angels, the only successors not to suffer their curse were the Lamenters until they did.
Yeah, until they did.
I love how the Lamenters, literally their whole thing is just like, yeah, we are just really unlucky. Like, not unlucky enough to no longer exist, but unlucky enough to have every battle be horrible for us. Oh, God.
Thanks, Black Library. Make it up here. Let's put this here. Or not.
See here.
There we go.
Goodness. Da-da-da-da. Oh, no wonder this is... Okay.
Let's see, I think I can go up these stairs now.
You said your favorite Primarchs, but did you say your favorite chapters?
Ooh, favorite chapters.
Same thing.
Does that include successor
like,
chapters?
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, I might not recognize it then, but...
I always have a soft spot for Blood Ravens, but I don't know if I'd say they're my favorite. But that's because the first Dawn of War was my entry into 40k. But for my actual favorite these days... I do increasingly like Ultramarines, but I don't think they'd be my favorite either. If I were to pick a chapter to paint an army as, and call that my favorite, besides Homebrew, I think... I might go Imperial Fist.
Okay. Ooh. Any favorite armies in general for like the Imperial Guard? Because there's so many factions of them as well.
Yeah, there's so many.
Okay.
I actually, hell.
They actually get more than just a paint job difference.
Yeah, because like 99% of Imperial Guard regiments, even though they're not Catachan, they still use just Catachan equipment and look the same anyways.
You mean Cadian?
Which I feel like is a missed opportunity on Games Workshop's behalf to mix up the Imperial Guard line.
Do you mean Cadian because Catachan is the one where like everyone comes?
Oh yeah, I'm in Cadian, yeah, not Catachan.
Catachan is the one where everyone looks like, Rambo
Arnold
cross, Dutch from Predator.
Yeah. I got them mixed up for a second there.
I mean, it's an understandable thing. Cadia, Catachan.
Yeah, just a minor difference between them.
I still find it funny how apparently when the Tyranids invaded Catachan, like the local wildlife was so brutal, and the people were so used to fighting big monsters that it's just like, yeah, it didn't really last that long. Like the planet's so shit that even the Tyranids were like, fuck, how do we do this, bro?
What about your favorite Guard army?
Guard, it's basic bitch. But it's not for the memes or whatever, but it's probably Krieg, because I have a really, really, like, soft spot for, like, World War 1.5 aesthetic, which is, like, that kind of mostly World War 1, but has a tad bit of 2 in it. That just, like, feel for it. Like, it,
Krieg is always a
kind of
solid choice.
World War 1. Yeah. It's a little basic, but, because, like, it's one of the more well-known ones, but it's just... It's not, again, for the death cult or anything. It's specifically for my personal, like, love of, like, the aesthetics and how they, again, lean into the, the World War One, like, trench warfare thing of just, like, unrelenting, attritional warfare and... unrelenting attritional warfare and whatnot.
I think I might go with the Mordian Iron Guard, because I like their lore and I like their uniforms a lot.
Are the Mordian Iron Guards the ones that have, like, that are super sharp dress?
Yeah. They have, like, the Prussian blue uniforms.
Okay, I think, yeah.
Them and also the,
Chaos. Oh.
Them and
the, Chaos Incursion was their Pride of Fame or whatever?
I think so.
Okay,
I actually forget. But them and also the British Zulu themed guys. Forget their name.
Those guys. I love how they're literally.
They're so out of place. I can't not love them.
That's literally what they are, though.
Yeah, just literally guys from the movie Zulu.
They really are. That's one of the best things about like. Is that even in a homebrew, you could literally get like World War II or Vietnam or pretty much any mini from any other game if it's in the same scale as 40k, and it'd be like, yeah, this is my personal like Imperial Guard regiment, and you could just get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh god, you could literally just make, you could literally just make like Marines from the First World War if you wanted to. You could just.
I saw it wasn't custom, it was like a minor company who made them, but they were a line of totally not 40k Imperial Guardsmen called Les Grognards, who were Napoleonic era themed guardsmen, and they were actually really awesome looking because they were like basically Napoleon Old Guard.
Yeah. I was actually going to use not that as an example, but like that idea of just like you could even go even further back. You could have like you could literally base, going to the Zulu example, you could literally have a guard regiment that's like neo-futuristic Zulu soldiers if you wanted to. Just give them some armor that would be appropriate.
I mean, that's basically the Mongolians. I don't remember their name.
Oh my god, yeah, Jagatai Khan's planet, you're right.
I don't know if that's where this regiment I'm thinking of is from, but they're basically the Space Mongolians.
Yeah.
Where their thing is they just have horses and melta lances.
Yeah.
And they say, fuck it, we ball.
You can just get away with that. You can just get away with that in 40k. It's clean as hell.
Yeah. I mean, the Deathcore Krieg also has those the horsey guys with the Melted Lances too.
Yeah.
The Rough Riders, is that their name?
I think they literally call the Death Riders because it's
Death Riders,
crazy
yeah.
everything has to be death.
Yeah. And I think even their horses have gas masks, and it's super funny.
They do. Their horses are also like genetically modified, so they have claws on their feet, so they can get better grip through mud.
Yeah, I think they showed up in one of the Cyphus Cain books, actually.
Oh my god.
Because they were on a forge road, and they're out on the surface where it's all irradiated and horrible. And also in the middle of a Tyranid invasion. And Cyphus Cain is just walking in the irradiated desert in circles, lost as hell, until he stumbles across some Death Riders. And then the second that Cyphus Cain leaves them, they all do a suicide charge.
Yeah, bro, it sounds like him.
Yeah. Just average Krieg things.
Pretty much their job is to scout and to die when needed, and it's just like they're really good at it.
Yeah. But I also always like the implied lore of the Blood Ravens. My theory has always been that they are sons of Magnus.
I like that theory too. Of just
I've heard a couple of different ones.
Explaining their,
I've heard a couple of different theories, like they could be Dark Angels.
Yeah, but I like the Magnus one for like how it explains like why they have kind of a higher rate of psychers. Why they kind of like collecting shit so much. Like their fascination with knowledge and even forbidden knowledge. Their seeming connection to chaos, how chaos is just like, bro, we're more connected than you think, so, like the traitor connection there. I feel like the only problem is that they don't have a flesh change, but you can always just... Do they have a confirmed founding?
No, it's they're unconfirmed. I forget the name for those chapters, but yeah, they're not confirmed.
So you could literally throw it into one of the ones where they kind of fucked with the gene seed a little bit. Sorry for cursing. Ooh.
The only missed opportunity is that they've never encountered the Thousand Suns in any of the games. But I guess that would have confirmed the theory.
That either confirm it or deny it. If they were just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's his name? The de facto leader of the Thousand Suns at this point.
Ahriman?
Ahriman? Yeah, thank you.
I'm pretty sure he's the de facto leader.
Ahriman would be like, wait a second, uncorrupted emperor, like Thousand Suns?
What
My
the
god,
hell?
I need to capture some to experiment on and figure out.
What do you mean you didn't have to do a rubric to get that?
Like,
what the fuck? I can actually imagine Ahriman molding out so hard if he found out the Blood Ravens were Thousand Suns.
Wait, what do you mean you solved a chaos warp curse by just taking out some RNA strains? What the hell do you mean by that? Really? It was that simple? We just had to take out a G here and A there. Oops. Good.
Lots of dings.
The dings are satisfying as hell.
This place is starting not to look like a complete shithole.
I don't know why, but it's reminding me specifically of like the witch's house, or rather the cat's house from was it what's that anime with the death scythes? Is it just called Death Scythes?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Crap.
It's not recalling any bells.
It was like, I think it was late 2000s. Ooh.
Oh, Soul Eater?
Like people in Soul Eater, thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, where people like in training to be Grim Reapers.
Yeah, Stout Soul Eaters. I think I watched a couple episodes and it was okay, but I never finished it.
Soul Eater is in fact okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I wouldn't say I have to go back for it. I've watched the anime and read the manga completely. They're both pretty okay overall.
It was one of those animes in the 2000s that were just okay and got you through the year until the next season.
Yeah. Like, no shade on it. It wasn't.
Yeah, no shade.
But
I mean, I can't cast shade because one of my favorite animes is still Rosario Vampire. Even with how horrible it is, I still like it.
Oh man, you got it.
It's one of those just completely tasteless, completely just upfront with what it is harem shows from the 2000s.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a different one. But
No.
that one.
And it also just completely abandons the plot of the manga in like half a second.
Isn't that also like the one where like the main character is actually all about being in the harem instead of like, because at that time there's always people like, oh girls, like, ooh. Well, this guy's just like, God, I just want to grab them. I want them, but I can't. Like,
I don't remember if he's that bad about
harem,
it.
but I cannot touch the harem. What?
I don't remember if he's that bad about it. I think, at least in the manga, he's too busy not dying all the time.
Well, that's what I mean. He's just like, I can't enjoy my harem. I'm too busy doing other shit.
Yeah. I actually forget, because it's been so long since I rewatched it, what he's like in the anime. But I know the anime is like the most stereotypical 2000s harem show.
Hold up. Maybe there's two I'm getting it confused with. Let me see if it is. No. Okay, I thought it... No. I thought it was a different one. Okay, Rosario one is actually one I didn't finish. Okay, no. I think
I can't fault you for not finishing it. I know what it is.
Oh god, there's another one where like there's a, I think she's a vampire or maybe she's a demon princess, but like it's another harem anime where like it's also a battle anime and it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. There are a few vampire stuff like from the 90s to 2000s. It's hard to get them all like in order, to be honest.
The anime of Rosario Vampire is so different from the manga. It's almost like it's the Netflix adaptation.
Oh god.
Because if you ask any fans of the manga about it, they always hate it vehemently too.
This is probably going to be controversial, but like one show that I think is just like, for its time, I don't think it's very, like, for its time is whatever, but like, actually for its time it's not even good, but I like it, but it's just like, yeah, I don't think this show is actually all that good. Like, I tried to rewatch it recently, not that good. It's probably going to be a little controversial, the original Trigun. I love the original Trigun, but I was like...
I remember liking it at the time, but that's one of the shows I've always been afraid to rewatch because I suspect I won't like it.
I mean, Vash is still funny as hell.
Yeah.
I
remember really loving it back in the day, but yeah, I'm worried about it if I rewatch it.
Yeah, I saw a good post that kind of showed, like, because they remade it for some reason.
Yeah.
But, like, they showed the difference between, like, the new Vash and the old Vash. And, like, the new Vash is like, yes, ma'am, I'll have your daughter home by, like, you know, by 6 o'clock. And then old Vash, though, is just like, ma'am, I have lost your daughter. And it's just like, God, I love you, Vash.
Vash from the 90s versus Vash now.
Vash from the 90s.
You changed, man.
I love how it's just revealed. Yeah, it's just revealed. He's actually just a super genius who just kind of, like, he just has, like, innocence that he does everything to preserve, but he's actually just a super genius who just functions at such a higher level than everyone else that he just kind of dumbs himself down to, like, interact with people, really, and also realizes that people will, like, you know, underestimate him if he puts on the stupid act.
Yeah. I always enjoy characters like that.
He's not even human. He's just a walking supercomputer. Like, he literally can just... he doesn't dodge bullets. He dodges where you're aiming. Like, that's how next level he is.
I completely forgot that.
Yeah. The reason, he's never shot is because he can look at, like,
I'm distantly remembering the end of the show, but it's been, like, almost 25 years since I've seen it.
It's an old show, man.
Yeah. I distantly remember they go find, like, the colony ship or something.
God, that might be the manga, because the anime kind of caught up with the manga, and instead of, like, doing what they did in the 2000s, because it was the 90s, they're just like, okay, we're just going to end it, we're just going to, like, rush the ending, and that's kind of what they did. So he just has a big battle with his, like, brother, and I've always wanted to read the manga, but I've just never gotten around to it, though.
I'm terrible about reading the manga.
me,
For
it's
the
like
longest
50-50.
time, I was actually a Dubs enjoyer because I could turn it on in the background and not have to watch it. I could just have
Thank
it
you
on
for
while I'm
saying
playing
dubs.
games.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Rurouni Kenshin dub and how god awful that thing is. Do not watch the Rurouni Kenshin dub. Watch the sub. The dub. A lot of times you're like, well, I can at least laugh at how bad it is. No, it's just awful.
You know, I'll be the first to admit it as a former Dubs enjoyer that dubs have always been pretty bad, but they've gotten so much worse in recent years.
Oh god, there was a sweet spot I think in the mid to late 2000s.
Oh yeah,
where they
absolutely.
were improving. Like I think, like for example, an anime that I like a lot. That's actually a really good. It's an adaptation, but like it's an adaptation in the classical sense, not a one-to-one recreation like a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
But Birdie the Mighty, like I think that has pretty good work. God. Mushishi is pretty fine. You know, like there's plenty of like Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, both again pretty good work in them.
Yeah.
But frick, I suck. But yeah, there are a lot of dubs that are just brutal, and a lot of it's just they literally just put really cheap voice actors on it for the most part, because a lot of it's done by Crunchyroll, and then they save like for the things that have already been shown to be popular in Japan, and they think will be popular.
Did you see that
West,
Crunchyroll just got called out for committing mail fraud against one of its voice actors?
Yes, I did. I did.
That is, it's not surprising they're that
God.
stupid, but man, is it funny.
Jesus Christ. It's not surprising that the black company, in fact, is a black company.
Yeah, it turns out there's a reason that a lot of people just do not like Crunchyroll after all these years. And haven't for a while. What I'll do is that I'll just legally torrent my anime in Minecraft, and then if I like it, I'll go buy the Blu-rays.
Ooh. Yeah, Funimation had problems, but my god, Crunchyroll is just like all those problems and more. It is not a good time.
They haven't been good for ever. Like, I think, like, the early teens, like 2012-ish, 13 or 14 was the last time I thought Crunchyroll was decent. What's it?
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is worthwhile on Crunchyroll is their backlog. It's really like the only thing worthwhile on it.
Even then, I'll usually find another service if I really want to stream it, like a High Dive. Like I did that for Chaika Coffin Princess last week. I actually need to finish watching that one.
Familiar. Ooh.
It came out like a little more than a decade ago, I think. And it's very good.
I hate when it's hard to find like a Blu-ray for certain anime. Like I've been looking for Blu-rays for Madoka Magica for like ever, of like this the original series, and I just can never find it, and I'm just so upset because that's one of my absolutely love that series. But not the series. I absolutely love the show. I have not even touched anything else in the IP. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I like this.
I have a nuclear take about Madoka that I know I'm like the only person ever did not like the anime at all.
Oh.
Not even a little. Did not like it.
I liked it because it reminded me of my own personal struggles with trauma and getting over it. Of knowing a loved one who died. So for me, I was just like, it hit me on a very personal level. Ooh.
I can see why people would like it. Just did not like it. I don't know why. It's one of those shows that's like in the canon of great anime. And it's like, is it though? I think we're getting towards the end of this one, aren't we?
Yes.
Now we just have to hunt out the little splotches.
Yeah. Getting things at a distance with the shaky, pretty much the no nozzle filter one, is really efficient because it actually covers more distance than the pinpoint one.
Ah, cool.
Because it's constantly rotating. I don't really know the point of the pinpoint one in that case, because I think this has, like, the same range, but again, it covers better, because it just naturally spins around.
Yeah. Oh, here's an area you missed.
You can hit escape and check. So, like, alchemy counter, you can click on that, I believe, and it should highlight it, but the highlighting's not the most obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
I found this side of the house that we missed over here. I think it's where you had the scaffolding original.
You can either come to get it, or I can bring it over in just a second. Okay, I can bring it over right now. Ooh.
Back to dubs. There's a few anime that I just can't watch the subs of because I'm so used to the dubs. And they're not good dubs. They're just what I'm used to.
Oh, no. Okay,
and for me, it's Strike Witches and Girls on Panzer.
Jesus Christ, I've only seen the first episode of Strike Witches, and I just laughed so hard, and then I just stopped.
It's one of my favorite anime, and I'll be the first person to say that it's freaking terrible.
Oh, I know that feeling. There's plenty of stuff that I love that I'm like, listen, it's awful, but I like it.
Yeah. There's something charming to me about, like, cute girls fighting a war with military equipment. I'm down for it.
I just remember, I was just like, wait a minute. This is literally World War II, but with anime girls, interdimensional bullshit, and also, why do they look like that?
Yeah.
I cackled for like the entire 20 minutes of like the first episode I watched it. Oh god.
And then, so I've watched every season and spin-off of Strike Witches, except for Luminous Witches, the most recent one, because it's so bad I couldn't even get through the first episode.
Oh my god.
Which is saying something for
God.
a Strike Witches fan who's watched everything else. It's so bad. Because it's like, it came out a few years ago when they were starting to experiment with AI-generated backgrounds and stuff, so all the scenes just look terrible. And then it's combined with some janky-ass bad 3D animation. Because they wanted to save money instead of animating them flying around. And then it's just really terrible.
Gundam Seed.
Yeah, it's just, there's no redeeming qualities about it. It's painful.
Like Gundam Seed, at least have like rotoscoped it. Don't just like actually put the original 2002 3D models into your anime.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Look, I will give the original Strike Witches the first season credit on that. They actually drew and animated the girls flying around. And then immediately, I think it was season 2, they switched to 3D models that look like terrible. God, I do not miss the 3D model tyranny of the teens.
Oh, okay. For Seed, I think it's just the Archangel, pretty much like the ship that they fly in, and it's only like, like wide shots of it. Any close-up shots, they, have it still hand-drawn and whatnot, which is really appreciated.
I feel like I don't need to ask, but is their Archangel ship another white ship? Another white base?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It is.
Yeah, every Gundam show has to have their white base.
Oh, God. Well, shows will diverge to varying degrees, but literally in C, they're just like, we're gonna do the 1 year war again. It's like, are you gonna do anything differently? We're gonna have the main character manipulated by a girl whose father died. Oh, that's only gonna be for 10 episodes. It's like, oh, like
that almost sounds like they're having Char, but it's a girl this time.
Sounds like what?
Char, but it's a girl this time.
No, oh my god, they have a Char clone, but I don't know what's going on with him because they have a character named Athrun who is the main character's rival. But they also have a Char clone, which just makes you wonder what's the point of having both a Char clone and a rival if they're not the same person, because then you just end up not having any time for the Char clone. And it's just like, what are we doing here?
Let's see here. Pumpkin shed door handle.
Apothecary wall.
Ah, here it is.
Oh, I see it.
Anything else over here? Switch back to my widen. I also really like Zeta Gundam because it has my favorite Gundam of all time, even more than the original Zaku, which is the Rick DS. I think it's the Rick DS. The EUEG.
So I got it confused with the Rick Dom for half a moment.
Yeah, I had to stop and think about that for the same reason. Like, is it the Rick DS or the Rick Dom?
DS, which is like an angular successor to the Rick Dom in many ways.
Yeah. And I just love it.
Literally like the first mobile suit we see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean one. Ooh, I'm a personal fan of the Zaku 2 for reasons I've gone into many times. I think it perfectly captures like the aesthetics of Gundam, of how like it's stylized but also like pragmatic in the design approach, and it's never too much of one or the other. And
you can never go wrong with a Zaku.
Perfect middle ground. It's a perfect middle ground for like understanding the aesthetics of Gundam as a whole, more so than even the original RX-78.
I think the best Zaku I've seen is in War in the Pocket, the not Vietnam one. Just because you get the close-ups of it. Just because you see the close-ups of the mechas in that one.
It's a pretty clean one. It's a very wide boy though in the animation. I actually prefer the model because the model kind of the high grade slims it down a little. Even I think the RE100, which is pretty much like discount master grade, also slims it down a little. It is such a wide-chested boy though in the animation. Conservatory. Oh, okay. Are you the conservatory?
Is the Zaku in War in the Pocket the original Zaku model?
No, it is the War in the Pocket one is a late war version that was meant to standardize. Originally, like War in the Pocket was just going to retcon literally all of the designs, and then it's like, no, these are just late war designs that were meant to standardize parts and functions between mobile suits, because Zeon kind of realized, oh hey, none of our mobile suits like fit together, none of their parts are interchangeable. And so, like, we're kind of boned whenever something gets damaged because we're, like, fielding, 5 mobile suits at once and nothing, is compatible with one another.
Yeah.
So that was, like, the canon reason for, like, why they look different. They're just all standardized units, which is why all of them have the same hands. Because if you look in the original Gundam, all the mecha have slightly different hands. So they wouldn't be able to hold each other's weapons, which is in hindsight kind of a design flaw in your army.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's just a little bit of an issue.
I'm gonna look for something else. Oh, this was
there we go.
Okay, so it's this greenhouse. Okay.
Pumpkin shed chimney.
But no, it is I believe it's the Zaku F2 type. And then the one in Gundam, don't quote me on this, but and then the one in Gundam Stardust Memories is the Zaku. No, that one's the Zaku F2. I think it might be like the FT in, it's F something. Like they kind of get to F and stop with the letters, even though there's also like a Zaku J type. But don't worry about it. There's a lot of Zaku 2. Like there's a lot of Zaku 2 versions. Okay. And I have to explain why each one looks slightly different from one another every time, they give it a slight update in design.
Yeah.
Even to the point where it's like, oh, hey, this one has thrusters on its back. Well, that's a whole new model of Zaku.
Zeontism.
Conservatory frame? Ooh.
The funniest part...
People say Zeon did nothing wrong, but they did do something wrong. You know what they did wrong? They missed Jaburo and hit Sydney instead. How the hell do you do that? Those are on the other side of the planet from one another.
Well, whenever it cuts to the Zeon colony and you see what they look like, it kind of makes a little sense. All those potato heads. That's one of the funnier parts of Gundam, is that whenever you go to the space colonies, they just are complete potato-headed people. Like, I think it was in Unicorn when Full Frontal goes to the colonies because he's like a politician guy now. And he's just surrounded by people on the subway. And it's all like inbred potato head space colonists.
Oh my god. I do like one of my favorite moments in all of Gundam is, because you've seen the original series, do you remember when Zabi talks to his son and calls him Hitler?
Yes.
That is one of my favorite moments in Gundam because it's so hilarious. It's like, son, are you familiar with a figure before the Universal Century named Adolf Hitler? It's like,
And
yeah,
then he
he's
kills
from a
him.
country called Germany or something. And but it's like, he's from a country called like Germany or something. It's like, yeah, son, you're kind of reminding me of that dude. And it's like, that guy was pretty based, Dad. And he's just like,
And then he kills his dad for it.
Just leave. Yeah. Just leave, son. And it's just like, he immediately, after that scene, calls up the Federation and goes, yeah, I think I want to end this war, actually. I think we're done. I think I want to surrender, buddy.
Might have gone a bit too far in a few places.
Yeah, I think we may have made some mistakes here. Like,
I'm suddenly less committed to this cause.
All of a sudden.
All it took was a son saying "Hail Hitler."
Yeah, like,
because that's when they start the Sig Zeon chant. After that,
Zig Zeon was already a thing. Zig Zeon was already a thing, such as like Zeon Bonsais. Though that one is more of a reference, of course, to Japan's own history with, you know, suicide attacks, which is Zeon wanted to capture the whole axis in one force, which, considering it's made by Japan, quite the power play.
Yeah. Looks like I missed a part on this one. I don't see it. There it is.
There is like one window I'm missing, but I have no idea which one it could be, and they're all white, so they don't really glow too well. Oh, this one. That's the turret.
Yeah, the windows on this tower are being a pain. Let's see. You're clean. You're glowing. There we go. There we go. Where's the next one? House Eaves. I think that's the thing under the roof, right?
Conservatory windows. Okay, got that one clean. Not sure what you're looking at.
Steel in my chat says, baffled by how much information you guys have retained in your heads. Please give me some of your knowledge. Are there any other universes you have a lot of knowledge about?
I could talk to you about pre-sell off Star Wars for a very, 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 very long time. That was my jam when I was younger. I was able to talk with my best friend for literally hours on end, just about like the most obscure Star Wars information, like literally just Aya Sakura, the Twi'lek Jedi duelist who used two lightsabers, one blue, one green. And we were just able to talk about her alone for like hours on end, and not in a way that you'd think two teenagers would talk about an attractive Twi'lek. Surprising we never talked about her in that way. Oh my God.
I was a huge Star Wars fan back in the day for the original trilogy, but I didn't get into the EU too much.
The EU it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but overall it's more good than bad. Like where modern Star Wars is, you have Andor, which is good in quality writing, and then you have like everything else, which really isn't. It's kind of more the opposite case. I mean, I don't know if anything was probably... Maybe that's kind of selling the EU as a whole too much, but you have like some really good shit, like the Darth Bane trilogy. Everyone agrees the Darth Bane trilogy is just real good because it gives you the perspective of the Sith. It gives you the, like, where did this rule of two come from? It gives you one of the most powerful Force users in like history with Darth Bane, a guy who's like literally 60 years old and he goes like, I want to train. What, a thunderstorm is happening outside? That's perfect training. I'll just make sure that no water drops hit my body. And it's just like,
He's
my
just gonna keep
God.
vibing then.
Yeah. And you might think how could they make a character that strong? Well, at this point in the story, he's literally supposed to be overcome. Like his purpose is somewhat antagonistic because the rule of two is you have to kill your master. And so him being the most powerful thing ever is literally just making it so it seems like it's impossible for the rule of two to be succeeded on because he's just too powerful for like his own good. Like his apprentice can't kill him because he's just that good. Like the whole idea is you get somebody, you train them to be better than you, and then they kill you, and then no matter what, you always have a progressively stronger and stronger Sith. Which is why Emperor Palpatine could literally do force storms in the EU, because he was just like that powerful. He could just do force lightning to affect weather systems when he really focused. How he could have divination to the point of like planning the Return of the Jedi ambush against the Rebel fleet, because he just had that level of like control. How he could literally blind by himself the entire Jedi Order because he was just that powerful and that learned in the dark side. Like you have to remember, like the Jedi literally could not do like future sight themselves because Palpatine was blocking them in the prequels because he's
People always forget
absurd.
that was actually a plot point because the movies also kind of forgot about it.
They mention it in like literally the first movie, and they mention it again in the second one, and by the third movie, it's just like, well, you better have remembered us mentioning it twice in the previous films.
Yeah. I always enjoyed the EU, not companions, kind of like encyclopedias of equipment and vehicles and weapons and stuff. Those are really cool in the 90s. Because I loved all of those, even though I never read any of the books.
Yeah, I have the Bestiary still, I think, and I actually rebought the Amazing Cross-Section book, which is just, I absolutely love both of those.
I think I still have one of them that's for the equipment. Because it has the helmet that Leia wears in Return of the Jedi. The Hutt's Palace.
Fun fact about that helmet literally inspired an entire Star Trek race called the Breen. And if you see the Breen, it's literally just Breen. And if you look up the Breen, you're just like, that's literally the helmet. And they're like, yeah, we just took the helmet. And it's like, that's a really sick helmet. Thank you, Star Wars. We're gonna use that.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, starting to whittle this down.
Home window.
House pillars.
There we go.
Which ones are the pillars?
I guess the pillars would be the things that are under the turrets. Or maybe they'd be no, those are buttresses. I mean, I don't think those are buttresses that I don't think are doing anything, but they're buttresses nonetheless.
Oh, I see it. This one's going. There we go. It's one of the ones on the corner. That's not a pillar. That's not a pillar.
I know that we don't need buttresses in architecture anymore, but I would totally be into them bringing back buttresses. Do you know what those are?
Yeah. The like on the cathedrals that go out from the sides.
Yeah.
To support the roof.
Yeah, that go out from the side so they can provide additional support for the big ass buildings. It's like, is it efficient? Does it increase is it efficient? No. Does it increase the footprint by like way more than necessary? Yes. But do they look awesome? Absolutely.
Yeah, like they're the most inefficient method of increasing your structural stability possible.
I mean, for their day, they were pretty good, you know.
Oh yeah, for the day.
Modern day, where we have concrete and we have reinforced concrete and like steel beams and shit. not really necessary.
Yeah. Small window on the conservatory.
I guess I got that. If you
The
say
house
I
heat.
got it, game, then I got it.
Yeah. Which one of these would be the small window?
So I'm looking for the eaves. Oh. Right
This is
there.
the conservatory, right? This glass house thing?
Yeah. Well, what do you need on the conservatory?
The small roof window. Whatever the hell that
Oh,
is.
that's gonna be the one like on the like little turret on top of it.
Ah,
It'll be
okay.
on that thing.
Yeah.
I thought it, because I got the roof itself. I thought I got it already.
Just gonna put you there so I can grab something else.
Let's see here.
There's the ladder.
Eaves. I feel like it's easier to see when you highlight things than on the Back to the Future one.
Yeah, everything on this is kind of glowing white already.
Yeah, on the white things, it's hard to see it when it's glowing, but anything that's dark, it's really easy. It pops really easily.
Mm-hmm.
I say that, but I cannot find the last Eve at all.
This should be the small window, I think. But it's already clean. Let's try this. Get a wider.
Got it.
Okay, we'll do this. In theory, I'll get this small window. That's already clean. This is like 99.99% clean. It's just one speck.
Hold up. Conservatory small window.
I'm guessing it's the small one underneath the roof. Because it's the smallest window.
Not glowing, though, is the issue.
Yeah. And it's 99%. You found it? Oh, that's the herb house. I just noticed in the top left you can see it.
Oh. It's right here.
I just now noticed in the top left it shows you what you're looking at. So, door frame.
Side door frame. It'd be this one over here, right?
Probably up the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
There we go.
There we go.
Now, perimeter columns and house window frames.
There we go.
Okay, now we need perimeter columns. I said the last column was the side planks.
Perimeter
columns. I am learning more about architecture terms than ever before.
Mm-hmm. On the bright side, we can actually understand what things are supposed to be where.
Unlike, hey, Neve, hope you're doing good.
I hate bitching about it, but the Back to the Future where it's just like, find the Kloopledorps generator, and you're just like, the hell is that?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Everything is, like, it's all techno.
Oh, the perimeter columns out here at the entrance. Here we go. The actual columns.
Should be the one that's glowing.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Job complete. We did a good job.
I'm positive we spent more than $300 on the water alone.
No, don't worry. You got the Great Lakes of Michigan nearby. Don't worry about it. This is the normal like a northern.
Oh, that's cool. We get a little time lapse.
Don't worry about it. Oop.
It's funny seeing us just float in the air in the time lapse.
Yeah.
All right.
Because for some reason it doesn't include the scaffolding.
Yeah. Do I need to kick you out to go to the next one? No, I just hit back.
No.
Let's do the cruise ship sun deck, or one of the regular levels. Actually, why don't we try the 40k
I
one?
don't think. I think I. Do I have that one downloaded? Hold on, let me see if I have that one downloaded. Okay, that quit the entire game. Not cool.
Well, I guess you can download it now.
I did not think. That's really. I can check now. Uh, that one's multiple levels, but yeah, we can get started on that one if you'd like.
Yeah, one is I'm not sure if that's a Titan or a Knight. I'm gonna guess a Knight because it looks smaller.
What's a dreadnought? I didn't know if there's a knight. Oh,
No, it's not a Dreadnought. But
I
it's
know.
not
Well,
like
I'm saying one of the things you can clean is a dreadnought. I did not know that there was a knight or whatever else.
I'm gonna guess it's a Knight because it's not Titan sized. It's a huge mecha, but it's not
Fair
that
enough.
huge
So
comparatively.
that would take forever to clean an actual Titan, even a Warhound
Yeah.
Titan.
That'd be like a legit
Okay.
week of just no lifing this game to clean one.
Here.
Oh my god, can you imagine all the 99% things to get on a Titan? That would be a nightmare.
Jesus Christ. Ah, wait. One moment.
No worries.
It would take. I can get it, but it'd take me like a minute to download it because I need to buy it.
Oh, you have to buy it? Oh, we can do another one so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh.
Which ones do you already have downloaded?
Well, I've completed Back to the Future with Shock Mommy, so that one's probably not a good choice.
Mhm. 'Cause I don't want to make you buy stuff.
Why? There we go. I don't. I think I only have the base game outside of that. Or there's also the Midgar.
Oh, we can do that. Final Fantasy one.
Yeah, I think that one's this. Yeah, that one comes with the game.
Okay. I'll start up that one.
Okay.
Hardy Daytona
I'll
and
be
Shinra
right back.
Harler.
I need to use the bathroom. Why is my... Am I not hitting the right button? What's going on?
Okay, I have to re-invite you to the game anyways to start the new one.
Okay. Oh, okay, now I see.
As you feared, the value knowledge that you guys had seriously have been dropping up on me. No worries, still.
I'll be right back.
Yep. I will drop you the Steam invite. Oh. Let's see here. I want to... Yes. And I will... There we go. Invite to play. What can I spend my money on? I think that's what I already have, yeah. Ah, I see. We can upgrade. Cool. What level am I? No. I'm level 0. Any other equipment? I think I already have that. I have 275. What does soap even do? I guess for really dense stuff. We can customize. That's cute.
Okay. Actually, if we're doing, in the meantime... Well, actually... Shift. I have to open up the powerwash simulator because if I hit Shift Tab and... There you go. Okay, I should be joined in now. No, I'm loading in with you. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah. up because this. Are you familiar with JRPGs at all?
Yeah, it's been a while since I played them, but yeah.
Well, I have a history of never finishing JRPGs. I think the only JRPG I've ever finished has been Paper Mario, and that's only a technicality. And my question would be, but in January I hope to do. Oh my god.
What the?
In January I hope to do. Yeah, that was. Apparently they decided to make all these individual things. I hope to play a JRPG and finish it, but I'm kind of taking recommendations from anyone and everyone. Do you have any recommendations for that?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it because I got to the point several years ago where I can only play a JRPG if I'm using Cheat Engine to skip the grind. So...
Oh, it's not even the grind that gets me. It's just the fact that, like, this... I don't know why, like, the story just for me, like, I just drop off in interest to the stories, it feels.
If you want to date your teacher, Persona 5 is pretty good, apparently. I haven't played it myself. Fire Emblem might count as a JRPG. Even
I count that as a turn-based strategy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, there's, like, RPG elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've finished, like, that's, if it did, then I would have to count that as, I guess I have played some more JRPGs, but I mean, like, traditional, mostly turn-based, like, Breath of Fire, or, you know, Final Fantasy, or even, like, the Xenoblade or Xenogears games.
There is... It's more MMO than JRPG, but Final Fantasy 14. I have some problems with it, but it is fun for what it is.
Ooh. You're the second person to recommend that one, and all I can think is like, I'm appreciated, but like, I don't think I want an MMO.
Yeah, that's why I didn't play it for the longest time.
I don't think I can technically complete an MMO in like a month.
Yeah, it's you have to know life it. The only reason I got into 14 was because of at the end of last year, fool that I am, I agreed to cover my coworkers' New Year's overtime, forgetting that I was also scheduled to cover Christmas overtime, which meant that I was stuck at the office babysitting the data center with nothing to do for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. So I just decided to grab an MMO to play on my laptop at work because it's the Christmas season. There's no work in the data center at that time of year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you got a Christmas bonus in one way or another.
Yeah, I definitely got a bonus after that. But I don't think it was worth it. No lifing work for an entire month straight is not fun.
Oh my god.
The worst part is that it wasn't even work because my job is to babysit the data center. And at the end of the year, no one's doing anything because it's between years. No one wants to break anything and have to come in to the office. So I just sit there waiting for the phone to ring, and it never rings during that time of year. So just playing Final Fantasy 14 on my laptop at work, day in, day out.
Ooh. Are there any VTubers you watch in particular? Ooh.
I used to watch them more before I started streaming myself.
Wait, that's because as you find out, your streaming schedule and/or your schedule in general kind of gets filled up when you start streaming yourself. But
yeah,
because like available, or
because like just streaming, and then there's rewatching your streams on fast forward to spot stuff. And yeah. But for when I do, for guys, it tends to be Shinri from Hollow Stars. He's pretty cool. And for Hollow Live itself, usually Mume. Because those two, they have relaxing voices, so it's easy to have them on the background when I'm at work.
I mean, I appreciate I appreciate both chaotic too, but I appreciate a good relaxing streamer with. I mean, two of my Oshis are Sleepy Project, who's a very calm streamer most of the time. I mean, she can get a little fiery, but also Tomoe Umari, who is incredibly cozy, even though she's literally, like, in the military.
Yeah.
She's incredibly laid back. Ooh.
I only got into indie and not Hollow Live VTubers in the past year or two. Just because I stuck with Hollow Live for the longest time because they tend to have a lot less drama.
I'm more of a, in general, like these smaller scenes of indies and like the more interactive nature of
It's definitely something I've started to appreciate a lot more. For indies, I guess she's an indie now. Doobie 3D just debuted yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I was actually...
She's an indie, asterisk. Now she is.
Yeah, when she wasn't an indie, I was like, wow, I should have been watching her like before she graduated. Then
yeah.
It's like, here I am with all this like custom tracking technology, just like cutting edge crap, and make like literal professionals, just put them to shame. And stuff like, oh, well, I guess I get to watch you now. Awesome.
Yeah, she was cool before indie too.
Oh, I know. Again, because I just don't really watch a lot of corporate in general.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Like, I think Phase Connect is, like, really the only corporate that I reliably watch. Ooh.
Even then, the joke that they're more a coffee company than VTuber company is kind of true.
Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, why would you... Oh my god, the places they put dirt on this is just insane.
I feel like I need to be on those mechanic roller things to lay on my back to get some of these.
Oh my god, I bet with, like, either of these, it's just... This is so...
I think I accidentally got the easy one with the truck over here.
This isn't as bad as it looks, but it's not as easy as, like, it looks that I'm doing it. Because I'm getting a lot of spots, but that's only because I have plenty of experience in, like, the Back to the Future and whatnot. Like, yeah. I know where to look for the mechanical things.
You love streaming Tune today? Yeah, he's really cool. I think the first Shinry stream I saw was a horror game where he had to not know the language the ghosts were speaking and kind of puzzle it out. That was really cool. And that's what got me interested into him after watching that.
God, I almost said something that I can't say off stream because it included past life information of like of a person that I've been trying to get a collab with.
Oh.
That's something that off stream I need to remember to tell you about because it'd be fine there, but
yeah.
Oh. It's a very touchy subject. Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, one of the funny things is in my goals for like VTubing, I jokingly put the goal of collab with the first ever VTuber that I watched who had graduated.
Oh.
And then they weren't, but they had ungraduated themselves, but then they didn't stream ever. And I was just like, And then I half-jokingly sent them a message because they seemed like they had a lot of anxiety about, like, returning to streaming. Mm-hmm. And, like, I kind of, like, sent a message, like, to encourage them. And then, like, we've just been in contact since then.
That's
and I'm
cool.
just like, huh. Like, how has this situation developed? Like, how have we gotten here?
That is legit one of the cooler parts of VTubing, is that it's, in a way, more casual than I think higher profile streamers are. In some ways. I just realized that this truck is also a boat. The hell?
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, the bed looks like a boat. It looks like it has a ballast.
I don't know if it's a boat or if that's just like the design choice.
Yeah, I don't. It's been so long since I played Final Fantasy VII. I don't remember any of this. I mean, I remember the motorcycle, but
I mean, to be fair, when you played it also, I'm pretty sure there was a lot less, you know, polygons and pixels.
yeah, this truck probably would have been like 10 polygons. What am I missing on this truck? The hauler, the exhaust.
That is...
Yeah, I missed this exhaust completely.
Oh my god, I wish we were cleaning the 10 polygon version, to be honest.
Yeah, there's... Under the bed, there's a lot of spots I really wish I could lay on my back to get at.
Yeah, luckily, there's a lot of stuff under the bike, but because the bike is so thin, you can get to most of the spots under pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Cab door
license
frame.
plates. Did I already get this license plate?
I don't know what it meant by cab door frame, actually.
Yep, there we go. Door handles.
Oh god, there's suicide doors too.
Are they?
Yeah, you can
Oh
see
god,
that
they
the
are.
hinges are on the back.
Yeah.
Front door, a word that I should not have said on YouTube because they're overly sensitive, but a front door that is quite the ambitious design.
Yup.
I love these doors as much as the next person, but like, I would not want my front door to be that.
They are... Someone thought they were a good idea decades and decades ago.
They looked cool as hell, but they got their name because if you open it while the car's even going 5 miles per hour, you're gonna get pulled out of that thing.
Oh yeah.
That's why we don't see them today. But my god, having the car open like a grand, like it's like a grand door to a house, you know, it's like it looks cool as hell.
Oh yeah. There we go, got that out of the
It's also
building.
dangerous.
Rear wheel mounts. This is also a, not a 1.5 axle car.
Yeah.
Wheel
How
mount.
about that?
Okay, it's this thing.
Cab panel. What is cab? What is this cab panel they tell me of?
Maybe it's the roof? No, that'd probably say roof.
Yeah.
There we go.
Door
Just
windows,
hunting for that
that's
pixel.
something we can do.
Door frames.
Oh my god. That's the, oh my god.
My chat asked why you would open the door when the car is moving, though. People do very stupid things with their cars.
Also, I mean, it was an older time. I don't think the doors were as secure.
Uh-huh.
So the air could catch it if the door, you know, was older or wasn't fully put in. Like if you didn't close the door completely. You don't close the door completely on a normal car. It doesn't matter because the air just rushes over it, and you'll hear it. But on a suicide, I said the word again. But on the other doors, if you go onto the highway with that door not fully closed, it's gonna rip the door off.
Yep.
Ooh, especially with
Wheel
those
guard.
older locks and those older materials.
Where is the
Let's see
guard?
here.
That's the fender.
So you might not actually be opening the door. You might just be resting on it when you go into the highway because there's an older time period and you go up to 50 miles per hour. But that's still fast enough to have a bad day.
Yeah.
I am. Did you?
Where
Okay.
is
Hauler.
the wheel guard?
Cab
What the hell is that?
panel. The what guard?
The rear wheel guard. Oh, that's on the bike. The hauler only has the cab panel left.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. I'm just spamming the tab to see where it is.
Oh, it's behind
Oh,
the
no.
cab. It's this thing. There we go.
Okay.
Now we just have the bike.
Engine plating.
Engine plating. Seat plating. That was easy. Rear wheel guard. This thing.
Wait.
Engine plating. The thing that's up by the seat.
It's the one on that. It's the one on this side, but oh,
there
we go.
Yeah.
I had to shoot through right here to hit the last of the dirt. At least from my perspective, that is awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I also like these absurdist vehicles, and then we just have in the background just like 1950s
A normal
cars.
car. just a car.
Yeah.
The Scorpion Sentinel. That looks cool.
Oh,
okay.
like the boss fight when you trigger the self-destruct.
Is that at the very beginning of the game?
I think so, yeah. Like when you're still doing the terrorism stuff.
Yeah. That was cool. I need to AFK just a second. I'll be right back.
That's actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's moving. I'll be back in just a second.
No problem. Cleaning off the car piece. Why does it just have a... Oh, because these wheels are for traveling. This is a wheel. Where are the other wheels? Tucked in. Okay. Sadly, I don't have GM's chat up, so I can't talk to them really. Oh. Fuck. Well, that reminds me. Okay. Goodness, the 90s and 2000s, like the robots that could go by wheel or walk. Ooh.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
So earlier this last week, I was kind of raging while browsing Amazon because I was trying to find some new clothes, and Amazon's just become... It's already been flooded for the past 2 years by like the Chinese random bullcrap brands, but now it's so bad. So I actually went to JCPenney's at the mall today, and I was having a good time until I got to checkout, and I realized how expensive a single shirt was there. I'm like, Like, oh yeah, that's why I was buying on Amazon.
Yeah, you kind of have to plan like a year in advance buying stuff, because if you want, say you want fall clothing, well then you go at the start of winter to get your fall clothing. Say you want spring clothes, well you have to go at the start of summer to get your spring clothes for next year. Oh, the stuff is so cheap then, you know. Like a $40 shirt will just be like, you know, $15 at most.
I completely had forgotten that was a thing, and I was so disappointed. Because like I finally found clothes I knew that would fit me without having to guess at like small Chinaman sizes. Because this is safe. I mean, it is what it is on Amazon. But yeah,
you're like in a... I don't know how true this is, but speaking of sizes, how the astronauts in the American space program in the 60s, when they developed, like, you know, the pee bags and whatnot, they had to make sure that, you know, like, they were properly fitted to the people when you put them on, so that, you know, you didn't have leakage.
Yeah.
So there were different sizes of, you know, small, medium, large. But none of the astronauts wanted to go like, yeah, I have a small dick. give me the small one. So they had to go do like they had to have large, gigantic, and ginormous or something like that. Like they had to have like monstrous as the last one because nobody was willing to go like, yeah, give me the I have the tiny pecker committee, you know, teeny meter.
I never
have,
heard
yes,
that, but it
please.
completely makes sense that they had to do it. Oh,
God.
that's funny. I have actually been kind of wanting to play some more Final Fantasy 14 lately, but I have that same problem you have, right? Even though I kind of like the game, I just don't want to deal with an MMORPG in my life these days.
Oh,
I've been down that road before.
Never got fully invested into an MMORPG, but my brother Kraft was. We like to call him King of the Nerds because he's almost at 6'4". Meyer is 6'4". Kraft is 6'2" though. Even before he started hitting the gym, had just a great build to him. So he's just, and also though he's like the nerdiest guy you know, who like literally was like the best like at who's just like the best at pretty much anything, like of all the nerds at like the table he would sit at. Like he was just the king of the nerds. He was the most physically impressive and also the best at everything. He was the best at magic. He literally figured out Smash Bros. Melee meta 20 years before like the actual before the competitive scene figured it out. It's just like, and I can attest to that because I remember when I was younger, him being like, okay, yeah, these are the best characters, like, this is why, and da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, 20 years later, people are like, oh, you know what? These characters actually are good after all, If we play Melee, like, in consideration that it's, a unique fighting game, and we don't just play it, with, like, rush downs and thinking, we have to play it, like it's Street Fighter 2. Yeah, actually, these characters are actually really good, and it's just like, yeah. So,
I've always been just hot garbage at fighter games.
Oh god, I'm not good at fighting games, but Smash Bros, because it was the game of my brothers and I'm actually really good at it to the point where at a party for a friend, like when we went over, like they had they had Brawl on the Wii. And I had never played on the nunchuck before for the Wii, and I literally just was like, I'll take that as a handicap, and I still beat everyone just horrendously, including one guy who was like, yeah, I play Smash Bros. I'm pretty good, and I just decimated everyone because again, my brother was somebody who figured out the meta like way in advance of other people, like so like. I just had a very good teacher. Oh god.
I've always been bad at Smash Bros, but it's still fun enough to play.
Oh god, I love it. Even though I always got the crap beaten out of me by my brothers, it's one of those like really nostalgic games.
Yeah. And
to give you an example of like how good my brother was, he would casually for fun as Marth take on 3 level 9 Ganondorfs. That was him just doing a casual game of Smash Bros. He's just like, yeah, I could just do this all day.
I have very distinct memories of renting the original Smash Bros. On the N64. That was just so much fun back in the day.
That one is fun as hell.
Back when renting games was a thing to do.
Oh my god.
Being honest, I don't miss renting that much.
We rented, not a game, but Princess Mononoke. We rented so many times, I still don't understand why we didn't just buy the dang movie.
The funniest renting story I have is some friends and I, this was before anime was a really big thing in the 90s, but we kept seeing it occasionally and when we would go to Blockbuster. So we're like, you know what, we're going to rent a game and let's try an anime because we keep seeing it here. And the anime was Ninja Scrolls. Not the best first impression for anime.
Crap, which one is Ninja Scrolls?
Wait, no. Is it Ninja Scrolls? I think that was an N64 game. Let me Google it, actually. Yeah, Ninja Scrolls. That is the name of it.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know anything about that.
looking back at it, it was a cool anime, but not a good first impression.
Oh, okay.
It's the kind of anime that's too spicy for YouTube, really.
Oh, god. Well, then that tells me a lot, especially considering it was from the 90s.
Yeah, it's a 90s spicy anime.
God. This isn't a renting story, but I completely ruined the movie Princess Mononoke for my friend. Specifically, he cannot watch it with me, because one time when I watched it, I just started riff tracking it. I just started, like, riffing it, because I've just seen it so many times. And he was just like, I can't watch it. So it's like, listen, like, I won't talk or anything. It's like, it doesn't matter if you don't talk. I'll just remember what you've said in the past, and I'm just like, dang.
Wrong nozzle. There we go.
God. One thing that always I remember as one of the dumbest things of parenting is how my mom was always like, you can't watch Dragon Ball Z because it's too violent. However, Xena Warrior Princess and 6 Feet Under, yeah, you can watch that with me. And Xena Warrior Princess you might remember, but if you do you remember 6 Feet Under?
I don't remember that one.
That was an HBO show about people who were embalmers.
Jesus.
And how depressing their lives were. Yeah, that I was allowed to watch. But you know, the show about a guy fighting, you know, the the gender ambiguous alien, can't have that.
Do you know where to
too
go
much.
to change your customization on your character in this game?
No idea.
Huh. Okay, I'll fess with that later.
I didn't know before you said something earlier. I had no idea you could.
Yeah, I was just browsing the store.
Wait, actually no. Shog Mommy changed her outfit to purple last time we played this game. So
Yeah, I just bought the
I could
orange
ask
suit, but I
her.
don't know where to.
And I might be the only person on Earth who likes orange and white, like in when they add that stuff to video games, the orange and white color scheme.
Oh, orange is my favorite color.
Well, orange is good, but like a lot of people see, was it Daisy orange or Tennessee orange and white, and they go like, my God, that's blinding. But my family has a long history of being Tennessee fans, largely because, you know, I have a lot of blood from Tennessee. And so for me, I'm just like, oh God, yes. When Halo Infinite was like, hey, here's literally just the Tennessee colors, like it's literally orange, white, and a checkerboard. I first wondered, how are you not getting sued for that? Because that is literally just Tennessee. And secondly, I don't care, I'm going to buy that. Like, I will compromise my no buying rule for Tennessee. That was the one thing I was willing to buy.
My chat has the point that Dragon Ball
look good?
Violent, all they
No.
do is scream and glow half the episode.
Oh my God.
That's actually why I ended up watching more
Totally.
Sailor Moon in the 90s than Dragon Ball, because around the Namek,
There's
there's a reason Namek is a meme. Because I got tired of the Frieza
There's
fight.
so much filler. Like, the Frieza fight without filler is really long, but it's really engaging because things aren't constantly happening.
Yeah,
But with filler, it's awful.
yeah.
Like,
Literally
really,
episodes they're just screaming at each other.
some of the peakest Dragon Ball, though, is in the original Dragon Ball, where, like, there's still, like, really good stuff in, like, Dragon Ball Z and whatnot, but, like, everything is happening so fast that you're actually just kind of, like, in the setting, unable to appreciate just how much is going on, like, in the fight.
Yeah.
While Dragon Ball, like, is still happening, at least by the perception of the audience, at, like, a human speed.
I got off
if
Dragon
you go
Ball
frame by frame.
fairly early on.
You got what?
I got out of Dragon Ball fairly early on. It was one of the arena arcs after Frieza, before Boo. I think the first cell had shown up by then, but I was getting disinterested.
What are the okay. That is confusing, because, like, after Frieza, before Boo, the only arena arc is after Cell, but you didn't say where had
I'm probably
Cell happened?
misremembering
Was
the
it
order
Cell
of things
games?
completely.
Was it the Cell games? I'm so because there is one
The arena arc
arc.
I'm remembering specifically is where Goku got disqualified for jumping off the ceiling. That's the only thing I remember about it.
That was filler. That was filler, my friend.
Well, that explains
That
why I
was
don't
the
remember anything.
That was the that was the other world or the afterlife arc you were thinking about. Oh my god. I remember that where they have like where he fights I can't believe it's not Piccolo.
Yeah.
Like the guy's literally just a Piccolo clone because they're like, yeah, well he's not dead, bro.
Yeah, that does explain why I don't remember any of it, then, doesn't it?
I think it's in Dragon Ball GT that when Piccolo dies, he's like, I'm gonna go to hell and stay in hell like Vegeta did. And it's just like, but Piccolo, like, you're a straight up homie. It's like, yeah, but I did some real bad stuff when I was, like, still going by Piccolo Jr. And also, like, the sins of my father are literally mine because I'm a reincarnation of Lord Piccolo. So, like, I kind of deserve to be here, to be honest.
I actually don't remember any of that. I only know
Piccolo.
I only remember Piccolo as just Piccolo.
Yeah. Gotta not appreciate though that Piccolo is a reincarnation of his own father. Like that's kind of just like not really talked about that much, and how the hell does that work? Because he's not like the continuation of his father, but he is like the reincarnation of his father. Because I guess when his father died, he immediately went into the egg.
I honestly remember more about the Dragon Ball Z abridged more than the actual Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, you probably saw that more recently.
Yeah. Though even that was like 10 years ago or something like that.
Oh yeah, like I think it was the last episodes were... Actually, I saw Takahata 101 posting about it. It's like the last episodes of Dragon Ball Z abridged were like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, they almost feel longer than that, but... Yeah, that... Oh. It has a butthole. And it glows.
Ooh. Fancy. I remember I actually started watching Naruto after watching the Naruto abridged, and man, that was a mistake.
I think Naruto is one of, like... is very overhyped. Not as overhyped as Bleach. I've seen people like go like, oh, Bleach is like the best thing ever. It's comparable like to Naruto and you know like One Piece and Dragon Ball. It's like, dude, those none of them are even in the same like like firstly, like One Piece, though long as hell, is like a modern day epic and is on like its own like it's kind of its own like degree. It's its own thing really. Dragon Ball is like the granddaddy, so don't compare it to that. Naruto is okay overall until Naruto literally goes Super Saiyan, and I literally I just took the manga and was like, I'm just not reading this anymore.
Naruto is okay until you hit episode 100 and you're wondering what you're doing with your life.
Yes, I'm talking about Naruto Shippuden. I stayed in the. I was just like, yeah, I'll just read it because I have nothing better to do. But there's a point where literally he just turns golden and starts flying, and I was just like, yeah, no, we're done here. Like, I don't have a problem with you having a Super Saiyan form in your anime, but you gotta make it different. You gotta be like One Piece, where when Luffy, after, 20 years, finally achieves his version of Super Saiyan, he turns into Popeye the Sailor Man crossed with Bugs Bunny. Like, it's just like, okay, that's different. That is very much different. And then he goes off to fight Gyarados, and it's like, okay, I did not see that one coming.
I never got into any of those other ones, like One Piece or Bleach was the other one you mentioned. I never watched them.
Yeah. Bleach had a perfect point to end when, like, pretty much its overall story defeated the big bad guy of the entire series. And then they just went like, no, we're just going to keep the series going. And it's just like, what? It's like, yeah, we're just going to keep it going. It's like, I thought this was an epilogue. No, this is a whole new arc. But he lost
Free
all
money,
his powers.
baby.
He has new powers now. He has new powers now. Oh, okay, I guess this could be interesting. Just kidding. We gave him back his old powers because, you know, our editor said we should give him back his old powers instead of, you know, developing new power sets or anything. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna stop now.
Yeah. That's how it tends to go with shows that don't end.
I remember when there is a character called Halibel, and she's pretty maybe her character literally got censored in the anime because her character design is just I have massive underboob. And it's just like, and the funniest thing is her awakened form, I forget what they're called, but her awakened form was literally she just becomes like she has even less clothes is all it is. Like she just gets more naked effectively. And I remember
Old school fan service was on a different level.
Oh my god. When I was watching Gundam Seed recently, and they just randomly cut to a character in the shower, had nothing to do with what anyone was talking about, completely detracted from the scene, and I was just like...
I remember bursting out laughing watching the original Gundam series a year or two ago, because they do that every now and then.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh, okay, we're just seeing Sailor naked now. Okay.
Christ, what is it? Not the original Gundam series, but probably the dumbest thing I remember from Gundam out of context is they capture, this is Double Zeta Gundam, which people are like, you can skip it. No, don't skip it. It is, after all the depressing things of like normal Gundam, having a Gundam that has a happy ending, you don't want to skip that. Okay? Like, it feels wrong to have a Gundam with a happy ending, but Gundam gets really depressing. Do not skip the one piece of joy you will have in the entire universal.
Well, I mean, War in the Pocket, Loki had a happy ending. I mean, he lost his arm, but...
I mean, that kid's scarred for life, bro.
Yeah.
Oop.
Yeah.
That kid, that space German was turned into hamburger meat, bro.
Yeah. But I feel like War in the Pocket is about as happy ending as normal Gundam gets.
Yes, that is fair. Ooh. But with Double Zeta, they capture a character, and then it's like, well, what are we gonna do with this prisoner of war? It's like, have her do their laundry. It's like, I don't want to do the laundry. Do you want to do the laundry? No, have her do the laundry. And she actually enjoys doing the laundry instead of, you know, going out to war. She's like, yeah, you know what, this is like a lot less stressful, man, than like, you know, going out and almost dying all the time.
You know what, that's valid and fair.
But when they meet back up with her, she's been like turned into a cyber new type, which just means a new type, an artificial new type, but also brainwashed.
Yeah.
And literally, Judo just goes, hey, come back to the Argama, do laundry. You'd like that, right? He just says that to this character, just like, hey, how about instead of fighting, do some laundry, woman. This is like, out of context. That's a terrible line, but makes perfect sense.
This is one nasty undercarriage.
God. Even when Double Zeta remembers it's a Gundam show at the in like the later half of it and starts getting serious, it still has to deal with the fact that it was goofy as hell in the first half. So how does Chara, the character who like the laundry character, how does she also like get her like her brainwashing undermined? Well, when she sees Judo, she gets like she effectively just gets really horny for him because she just has a thing for young guys, and it's like. Yeah, that's with her character. Like, it's like, well, how can we have her seeing Judo bring her, like, snap her out of it? It's like, well, we established her as kind of being a bit of a predator. It's like, thank you, Japan. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you. I think the worst part in all of Gundam for me was watching the original series, and it's one of the shower scenes where for some reason they decided to draw the little kids fully naked. I was like, I did not need to see that, man. Like, yes, it makes sense in the story. No, I don't want to see it.
God. Goku in the original Dragon Ball always being naked because he's literally just a wild boy, and it's just like, yeah, it's funny. It's like Torio, why do you keep drawing your main character naked with his dick and balls out? It's like, because it's so funny, bro. And it's just like, I don't think it's that funny. It's like, it's funny to me. Shut up. I like how
The absolute mad lad.
Goku's never encountered a woman before, so when he meets Bulma, he's just like, wait a second, where's your bulge? And it's just like, what? It's just like where's your cock and balls, girl? It's like, I don't have one, I'm a girl. That doesn't make sense, bro. And he like literally when she's sleeping goes up to her and just like taps her like on like she's clothed still, but he's just like, where the hell is he? Like he's just like, there's nothing here. And it's just like, what the hell, Goku's like, what? Like, you freak of nature, you don't got no cock and balls, what's wrong with you? And it's just like, Goku, you freak. And it's just like, no, you're the freak, you ain't got nothing down there. It's concerning.
Man, pre-2000s anime was something else, and I completely forgot just how wild it got.
Toriyama was insane in Dragon Ball.
Man,
there's a point where Krillin in the first tournament arc fights a guy who's really stinky because the guy's what he does is he never takes a shower, so everyone has to hold their nose when they fight him, so they can only fight with one hand. But you might remember Krillin character design, he doesn't have a nose, but he's still holding his nose throughout the fight until literally Goku goes, Krillin, what the hell are you doing? You don't have a nose. And then Krillin goes, oh, you're right, and just starts using both of his hands.
What the hell?
Yes.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Original Dragon Ball is such a trip. Friggin' was it, God, I forget what the character, but there's a character who's an assassin who just said, I think on the back of his shirt just says love to kill or something. Or I think it just says kill. Is this on the back of his shirt? Because, like, he's an assassin, bro. How else are you going to know?
I was about to say you might have gotten that shirt from Hot Topic, but that would have been way before Hot Topic was a thing.
But how he gets around, how he travels around is he just kicks off columns or, like, pillars from buildings, throws them, then jumps on top of them, and that's how he travels around. Like, he rides them he just rides them like a magic pole. It's just like... Bro, couldn't you just jump if you can, like...
That sounds like the Contra game where you're riding the missiles.
He pretty much does that, but he throws the missiles. It's like Assassin Mao or something. I can't remember his name exactly.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Oh, it's amazing.
I never actually seen the original Dragon Ball, only Dragon Ball Z in the 90s. And then by the 2000s, I was off it. How good
some of the fighting animation is. Like the
I believe it, because back then it was like actual animation and not just 3D stuff.
Yeah, the Ten Shinhan Young Goku, like, was it second tournament arc? Also, the tournament arcs were good in the original Dragon Ball because the show was built around them and it's how characters were introduced and rivalries built up. Like, later Dragon Ball, it's just like, why are we here? Like, we've moved past this. We don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
But in, like, classic Dragon Ball, like, it's where, like, a lot of the story happened. Ooh, but the Ten Shinhan Goku fight, clean as hell. The final fight of the series, Piccolo Jr. versus Goku, it's just two mad dogs beating the hell out of each other. It's brutal. It's just two street fighters, like, breaking each other's shins every kick they can make.
Random change of subject. Who is your favorite Gundam character?
Honestly, just because of change of pace, it might have to be Judo from Double Zeta, the main character from that. Because everyone else, like, you have, like, Amuro, who's, you know, conscripted into battle and is angsty about it. You have Camille, who's angsty already and is, like, just like, well, I'm gonna go join the war.
The first episode of Zeta Gundam is so insane because Camaro, was that his name? Because he literally goes and plays Grand Theft Auto in real life.
Yeah, with a 20-meter robot.
Yeah,
You Gundam Mark II is 20 meters. So
he's so angry.
Judo is pretty much, he just works at a junkyard. He's literally just a junkyard dog who's just like, I do this to feed my sister so she can go to school. And then his sister's like, join the military, it has better pay. And he's just like, I don't wanna, because that's dangerous for you. And she's like, well, I'm gonna go with the military, so you have to join them for the better pay. And he's like, okay, now I'm a Gundam pilot.
I think my favorite character is probably Sailor Mass.
Char's
sister.
I'm so terrible. She is so underutilized in
She really is.
the UC.
It
For
doesn't
no
help
fault.
that
I will admit-
her voice actor died at some point.
Well, her voice actor died, but also pretty much through Char's counterattack, she was just unavailable every time they wanted to get her, so they were just never able to use the character. They just kept being like, hey, can you reprise your role? And she was like, no, I'm busy doing other things. And it's just like, oh, how about
So
now?
in the show,
No.
it just kind of comes off as Stalin is just tired of Char's shit.
Yeah, so like, she can only really God, I think her only real appearance is maybe, I don't know, she doesn't appear at all in Zeta Gundam. I think she has 2 cameos.
Yeah, she
Double
shows up
Zeta
as small
Gundam.
cameos at some point.
It's so minor.
But yeah,
wait,
she's definitely my
uh,
favorite, mostly because the original series, she goes from being kind of no one to being a pilot, which is just awesome.
Biggest glow up in Gundam is definitely. Do you remember the pilot for the gun cannon?
The Bad Albert?
No, not Ryu. Not the legend, not the god Ryu. Ryu
Yeah,
is
not
the king. No.
Yeah, he really was. Was it the big military guy he joins towards the end?
No. That guy's also cool though. No, the like purple-haired guy who's a snarky bitch. Like he
Yes, and then he turns
complain
into
about,
like a an intelligence guy after.
Yes, he turns into a secret agent, and he's just like one of the coolest like characters.
Yeah.
Even though he appears in like 2 episodes of Zeta Gundam, you're like, my god, like you're cool now. How did this happen?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I learned to stop being a bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah. Even in the original series, he was kind of cool once he got used to him and he started growing.
Yeah, he once he started getting character development.
I
he
think it
became a
was
lot
after
less
his
annoying.
mini arc with the spy girl.
Yeah, with the girl who he like befriends and starts like what could be the beginning of a romantic relationship with, but then she dies because she fires a missile and gets caught by the
Backlash.
by the literal exhaust plume from it.
Yeah, the
exhaust
backlash.
from it. And he's just sitting there, just like, we did it! Like we fired the missile and we took out the threat to the white base. Hey, we did it! He just like turns around and is like, hey, can
Yeah,
you
she's
hear
gone.
me down there? We did it! She's like 20 miles back in the ocean, body floating face down.
Yeah. OG Gundam
That
had some
is-
brutal deaths like that.
Oh my god. I mean, you mentioned earlier Char's 360 no scope. It literally shows her getting decapitated in that scene.
Yeah, it does.
Like, if you go frame by frame, it's really obvious of just her head flying off. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Because I remember
not
pausing and
only that,
replaying it
but
because I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I was like, wait, that just happened?
But if you continue the scene, when the explosion happens, I believe you can also see her dismembered arm fly at the screen. Like, it's just
That
like,
wouldn't
Jesus.
surprise me.
Char is a #1 hater, and that's why he's so amazing. He is one of the
Yeah.
greatest haters in all of fiction.
Char is just such a good character for so many reasons.
Oh my god.
Because he's also just genuinely has a lot of cool things going on, but he also has so many silly things that you wouldn't expect. That's so meme worthy, like how he grooms girls.
Well, I
And
love
like
how
in the
he
story,
just-
it makes sense what he's doing, but it's so easy to meme about it.
I love how he was never a friend with Garma. He was just manipulating Garma the entire time.
Yeah.
What I love about that is Fujoshi saw that and was like, my god, this is the perfect like yaoi couple, and it's like, what do you mean by this? Like
And then the
Char
guy
hated
dies
him.
and
It's
Char is just like,
yeah. But Char literally calls him up and he's like, Char leads him into a trap and goes, hey Garma, can you hear me? It's like, Char? It's like, yeah, you can blame this on the misfortune of your birth. That's literally
Char
how
is
the
such an
voice acting
asshole.
goes. It's amazing. He's such a piece of shit.
Char is the asshole that you can't help but love.
God, the best Char clone is easily Zex in Gundam Wing, because literally all he is this Char in the Universal Century just over the course of the entire series. Like, He literally starts off with like, a masked guy wanting vengeance for, his family that was killed by, despotic individuals. And then he just ends the series going, okay, I'm just gonna destroy Earth. I'm gonna throw really big things at Earth until nobody can live there. And it was like, not only that, but they literally start to plagiarize Char's speeches from Char's counterattack. Like, he literally just starts saying things like word from Char's counterattack. And you're just like, my god, this is amazing.
I've thought of
my God.
rewatching Gundam Wing on and off because I watched it in the 90s and I liked it back then. But I'm worried that's going to be one of those shows I won't like anymore. Because my memories of it, it was cool at the time, but now it seems like it's a lot of yaoi bait with cute guys.
It's a little complicated because I've said this before, but like the best way to describe it is it's their first time trying to do the AU seriously. Like, they had already done, I think, G Fighter, but like G Fighter was just them going, my god, I just want to get away from the depressing war shit. So they just make a.
Isn't G Fighter the joke
anime
series with the sombrero Gundam?
Yeah, with the Tequila Gundam.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, that's so offensive. Then like Hispanics are like, this is amazing, we love it, thank you so much, Japan. We are so honored that you depicted us this way. It's like,
Hispanic humor is always the best thing. I love it.
But Wing was their first time doing things, so like they do some things that succeed. Like they literally just recreate Char's story over the course of the entire series, but instead of having it broken up over like 3.5 stories, because you have the original series, you have Zeta, then you have a tad bit in Double Zeta, then you have Char's counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's off screen in Double Zeta, so like that's why I say 3.5. In this, you just see the whole thing. You see the whole thing. You see the disillusionment. You see, him trying to be a diplomat, failing. Like, and you're just like, oh, this is what we should have seen in the UC. Like, this would give so much context to Char's, like, fall, because the key part where he gets disillusioned and goes, you know what, I'm just going to throw stuff at Earth. We kind of don't see that in the UC. It kind of just goes from him trying to be a diplomat to him going, you know what, everyone has to die, screw it.
Neve, my chat is right. Hating is an art form.
It is, man. Dude, the man literally... Okay, so everyone knows about the Zeong, and how the Zeong was a bastardization of his... Like, was named after Zeon, which the country... Like, not only the country, but, his father, Char's father, the Zeon Dakum. But... literally, one of the most petty things ever, and my chat actually pointed this out to me, like, I think only last week, that the Zazabi's called the Zazabi, and I was like, oh my god, he got back at them. He literally was like, hey, Zabi family, I'm gonna name my super mech after you. And I'm gonna use your legacy to promote my war, just like you use my father's legacy to promote yours.
Wait, hold on. That just randomly reminded me that it makes me think that maybe there's a really deep cut Gundam reference in 40K, because in the new lore with the Emperor Mankind, he got the name of Adeptus Astartes from Dr. Astartes, which was one of the geneticists or something working on the Astartes project, and then she turned traitor because she disagreed with the Emperor. So he killed her and then named the Adeptus Astartes after her as a final fuck you.
Oh my god, I don't know if that's a reference, but that is pretty good hater material.
It is so close to being a super close reference. I don't think it is, but it so could be.
It could be an homage, it could be coincidence. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah. I think it has to be coincidence, but man.
That is hater behavior, though. I respect
peak hater material.
It is happy to know that in all of his inhumanity, the Emperor still had what counted most. Unmedicated levels of spite towards people.
Yeah, that's how you become the master of humanity, man.
Oh, God. Oh, actually, always loving in the Dune series. I'm only through Dune Messiah, but I always find it funny how, Paul is one of the biggest, well, I'll just say one of the biggest bitches in all of fiction, because he's just like, I'm a slave to destiny. I can't undo my destiny. It's like, you are literally like the only protagonist in history who can see his destiny and change it, and you're just going like, no, this is a Greek story. I can't do anything about it. And it's just like, no, you literally are choosing not to do anything about it because you're like, no, I can only do these actions. It's like, there are so many actions you could do instead. It's like, no, I've committed myself to vengeance in this particular way, so this is the only future that could happen. It's like, or you do, no, this is, I'm a slave to destiny. No, you're just an idiot. And then but I love in Dune Messiah, when his son is born and he realizes his son is also, like, is even more superhuman than him and is already sentient on birth. He just goes, oh, cool. Well, son, you're the emperor now. I'm gonna leave because I'm an absolute bitch. Like, I am... Because that's all Dune Messiah is about. It's how Paul is actually just a terrible person who has no agency, and takes no responsibility for anything. So the moment he can abandon his responsibility as the emperor of mankind, he does it to a literal child who's like 5 minutes old. He is one of the worst people in fiction.
I've only read the very first part of the first book. I liked it, and then COVID happened, and I forgot about it for a while. But I did really like what I was reading.
Spoiling that.
Oh, it's all good. I doubt I'll ever get into the sequels.
Is a drag because the first book was like originally serialized in a magazine, so each story was like its own, like each chapter was its own thing, and it doesn't really fit together all that well because again it was like a series of, like, it is one whole coherent story, but like it just goes on forever. It doesn't have great pacing. It has pretty bad pacing in some parts, good pacing in others, but in general you're just like, this just keeps going and going. Dune Messiah was written as one book, as this, you know, not a bunch of stories stitched together. And it functions a lot better. Dune Messiah is easily the better read. Actually, it's up there with, actually, what is it, Speaker for the Dead, the Ender Game sequel, for one of my favorite novel sequels.
Ender Games is one of those series that I've completely slept on. I don't know anything about it.
I've read a little bit of the prequels, and I've read the first two books, Ender Game and Speaker for the Dead. Speaker for the Dead is one of my favorite books I've ever read. It's the fastest I've ever read a book, because I literally could not put it down. And this is probably just a personal thing for, like, its themes and topics of, like, mortality and death and loss and whatnot, which is a topic that hits me particularly hard, hence, you know, my Vtuber persona. But for me, I could not put it down, and I read it at breakneck speed. I absolutely love Speaker for the Dead. It's such a harrowing story in some aspects, but also like an incredibly human one. Ooh. And Ender's Game is just a very sad story of just, we're gonna teach kids to be the ultimate super weapon. It's just like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Was Ender Games the movie adaptation where they had Harrison Ford in it? I might be thinking of something else. I never saw it. I just remember seeing it at some point. A clip of it.
I don't know if Harrison Ford was like a small... He might have been the... I think
it was like a commander or something.
He was like the commander of the school, of the military school that Ender went to, I think. You're right. I'm not 100% sure on that, but Ben Kingsley was also in it. Playing... Was it Ratchet, whatever the hell his name is, Starship Troopers.
Oh,
love that
Rashak,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, it's something similar to that in Ender's Game. Ooh. Yeah, Starship Troopers is also a story I absolutely adore.
Oh my god, I love that book so much. I finally got around to listening to the audiobook, reading it for the first time last year at some point, and god, what a good read.
Oh my... I actually tried to read the first chapter on stream, and for some reason I had a really hard time, like, reading it out loud with, like, because I didn't know the cadence of the character. And, like, in your head, it doesn't matter, but when you're saying it out loud, you're like, oh, wait a second, this is in first person, and so you have to, like, read it as, like, as he would be saying it, and I was like, oh god, I don't really know how he'd actually be saying it.
I've been going through that really rough with reading Dracula on stream. Just learning the new characters and adapting my voice to them, try and get the cadence right. I finally have gotten the
That's
hang of
something-
it, but yeah.
That's something. That's actually the reason why I want to read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because when I picked it up, I did not have that problem at all. Like I went between characters really smoothly. I imagined like exactly what each character would sound like really quickly. Found out I gave to like a character who's like 20 years old like a pompous 6-year-old voice, but you know that's not important. The fact is, like, for me, like, it flowed really well, and I was like, oh yeah, I can. All the experience I've had reading on stream like has prepared me for this. Ooh.
I don't think too hard about my voices. I just do what feels right at the moment, honestly. So my voices are also inconsistent between streams. Like I think Dr. Van Helsing has drifted from like super old man voice to like nasally voice to somewhere in between now, I think.
That is a big problem I have that I'm hoping also to solve with the video with the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, of like being able to go back, check the voices, and then use it to practice keeping consistent voices.
Yeah.
Because,
and then I really only have the one female voice because I have a deep voice, so it's all I can really do.
Is this Dr. Girl from Venture Bros? I understand.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love how Dr. Girlfriend's voice actor, which is one of the creators of the show, but like he's actually said like, yeah, usually I don't use say the word monarch because that's really horrible to say with that voice, so I just say honey or sweetie instead.
I didn't know. That's funny. I remember I liked Venture Bros way back when, so I 2 or 3 years ago rewatched the entire series and caught up on all the stuff I missed over the years, and I see why I fell off of it back in the day. Because those last few seasons are rough to get through just because a lot of nothing.
I like
least for me.
The whole series. It's actually one of my favorite animated series of all time. So for me, like how it gets
the early seasons are definitely fantastic still, and also the middle seasons. But it was specifically the final New York season before I think the show got canceled. I'm like, yeah, I can see why it got canceled.
Well, actually, it wasn't canceled for that. It was canceled because the sell-off of Cartoon Network's parent company to, I forget, Paramount or something like that. I forget which one exactly. But they just pretty much, when they got it, they just told Adult Swim to cancel a bunch of shows to like clean ship and whatnot. Because Adult Swim like was still like, yeah, this is like one of our favorite shows. Like it might not be as profitable as Rick and Morty, but like it is reliable and long-lasting. And then they're just like, no, not good enough for profit margins. Get rid of it. It's like, oh, okay.
I've tried to watch
So
Rick and Morty a couple of times, and it's just okay. I don't understand the hype for it.
The first season and second season as well, to a lesser extent, but pretty comparable still, are pretty good overall. But then
yeah, there were definitely episodes I
like,
watched that I liked, but it wasn't like amazing.
Well, it's also kind of the new thing at the time, to be honest. But Dan Harmon, then when I can do character and world work in my stories, he cannot. He's terrible. He always thinks that he can start doing, more complex character work and world building work in his stories, and he kind of messes up his stories every time when he does that. It's a real shame. He's good at making a formula that works. He's not good at like working past that. Venture Bros was able to work past that in an organic fashion.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was about to say that a lot of what I watched of Rick and Morty, I've only seen like maybe 5 or 6 episodes. I felt like it would have been better as a Venture Brothers episode.
Oh.
But I guess Rick and Morty is also just faster paced.
Oh yeah. But yeah. There's so many good Venture Bros episodes. I don't know why I thought about it, but an episode that always comes to mind is when Dean gets testicular torsion.
That's always like the episode from the early seasons.
It is such a random episode. They're all taken hostage, and then Dean goes, time out, time out, time out. And the water goes, what do you mean time out? I literally have you dead to rights. This isn't a kid, like this isn't a kid's game. It's just, and Rusty just goes, hold up, I made, like, this rule is literally made because of me. You have to give us a pardon. Like, you have to give us a time to see what's wrong with him. Then we'll come back and, like, get captured by you. And he's just like, really? He's like, yeah. And you have to do it as part of the Guild of Calamitous Intent rules. It's like,
yeah, and then the monarch actually looks up the rule book about it.
yeah. I love it when Hank is looking through the Guild of Calamitous Intent book, and the monarch is just like, yeah, like he's like, oh wow, this guy's like, like a bull. It's like, yeah, the Manator, which comes back up later. But like, yes, Manator, and it's just like, but check under M. Like if you're under M, check for me, Monarch. And it's like, no, not here. It's like, what? Okay, and check for, T for the Monarch. Nope, still nothing. It's like, what? Give me that book. Like, while he's in the middle of flying.
Yeah.
Ship.
Man, original and middle Venture Brother still goes way hard.
Oh god. It does have some real solid stuff that holds up really well.
Mm-hmm. Barrel vents.
But actually, like, I think it's in like the some of the building is like show building is so insane because it's really hard to tell what was retcon. Some things you can obviously tell what was retcon, but what was like planned from the beginning and what they just went like, yeah, that was a funny joke. Let's just lean into that.
Yeah.
Like Henchman 20, what's it? 2-ton 21. Henchman 21 in episode 4 or 5, literally just saying, it's like, oh, everyone's just like saying how did you join the crew? How did you join the Monarch or like Underbite's legions? And the Monarch, in 21 just goes like, you guys kidnapped me when I was 16, like when I was 14 years old. And then they just stuck with that. Like, oh.
Where are we missing? I see it. There's a little piece there.
Yeah, we can look it up. Claws. Really? The claws are still... Oh, it's that one.
Where is it gonna let me pick this up? There we go. Let's see, I saw it on this side.
Hold up, maybe if I get on the ladder,
there we go.
I'll be able to get an angle. Ooh.
There we go.
There we go.
Shoulders and barrel vents. Yeah, even today, there's... Venture Brothers at its peak is better than so many other shows. They just got it so right.
Oh, it is.
Shoulders.
Ooh.
So I guess it's probably going to be the underside of the shoulders.
Yeah, this is kind of awful. I don't know how the other shoulder got cleaned, but it's saying it's this shoulder, and I can see dirt on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
know. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark 98 cannon barrel vents. I don't know what that means.
Mark? Well, this guy's pretty dark, so everything should be glowing pretty well.
I see 2 cannons, one on each arm, though. I don't know what... Is it the top? The tail thing? Is that the cannon?
Cannon... Wait, it said... Wait. Did it say barrels or... Barrel vents. Okay. So it's gonna be something up top of everything, so...
Okay.
It might be the back vents on the arms, or if there's some vents on the tail. So let's check for that.
The arms are looking pretty clean. Oh, I see it. It is that little bit there that is just out of reach.
I miss
it's
when
on the right
kid
arm.
Shows were demented as hell. Like Courage the Cowardly Dog, or what is it? What's the other one? Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I never watched Billy and Mandy, but yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog was so good.
Ew. Man, that show was actually, you talk about being scared. As a kid, I could not watch like half the episodes of that show.
Yeah, those shows, they didn't have to go so hard, but they did.
No. But I did always love the episode Freaky Fred. That one's so good. Do you know Freaky Fred?
It sounds really familiar, but I can't remember it.
It's the one that, it's the guy who rhymes like he's a Dr. Seuss character, but just wants to shave Courage. But then I was...
Oh, yeah, I remember him now.
Yeah. That's literally all you have to say to remind people.
Yeah. Are you up for another one? Is it getting late for you?
I think we're on the same times, but I feel like we might want to save topics for another time at this point because we're going through so many topics.
Yeah, we've been yapping hard.
It's been enjoyable though.
Yeah, this is fun, man.
Yeah, we could I can get the what is it, the Warhammer one, and we can come back some other time.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I'll hit you up and we can get it set in sometime in November because the rest of the week I'm full.
Okay, can you say bye to my audience so I can do my closer and I'll say bye to yours?
Yeah, sure. Bye everyone. Hope you enjoyed this stream from Cowboy Land. Look forward to showing up again soon for you guys.
And bye to GM Powerlines chat. Oh wait, I forgot to ask you. Can I call you because of Gundam? Can I call you Jim? Because you're
Jim.
GM.
Jim. Yeah, sure. That actually reminds me of, as we were playing Phasmo the past few days, the Jin has the two ends, but they're so close, like we keep calling it Jim. The ghost Jim.
Okay. And thank you for having me, Jim, and thank you for, putting up with me, his chat. Have a great day to all of you. I'll sign up to my chat now. So,
yep.
Toodles.
All right. All right, everyone. That was Powerwash Simulator instead of Viscera because we couldn't get Viscera working. Maybe another time, though. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow, Monday night at 1:30 a.m. Eastern, the usual time, for reading more Dracula. A fantastic end to your weekend, everyone. Thanks for dropping by.